So myself Charan, okay, I'll be teaching you modern India and even as well as ancient and also medieval India. So you all know that you are here for a crash course. So from today onwards we are starting modern India crash course. I'll take 3 classes. This Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, 3 days. I'll be completing up to 1915. It seems that you have exam this week. Okay, up to 1905. Then in the next week I will start again from 1905. Then I'll go till 1947. Okay, so national movement part, freedom struggle. So you know that if you take these classes, so you have to be informed that you will be getting 40 tests free. Okay, if you take this course, you'll be getting 40 prelims tests free and also CSAT course also for free. Okay, so you just follow this module, follow these revision classes, because before competitive exam, more than sitting in your house and studying, going through your notes, listening to the class is very, very important, because lot of things will be covered just within 3 days, crisp. Just it will be, this is like a rapid revision. Okay, how many times you are done with your subject? How many revisions you have given? Not yet. So no problem. So we will cover all the aspects. I will try my level best to cover all the aspects in these 3 days. Okay. So now we will start with modern India. Now in this modern India, first I want to give you a gist. The very first topic wise, first we will go. What is the first topic in the modern India? From where actually the modern India starts from? No, even before 18th century also there is modern India. From advent of European merchants. Understand? That is the very first topic. As part of the advent of European merchants, we discussed Portuguese. Tell me the order of Europeans' arrival to India. First, Portuguese. Second, Dutch. Third, English. English in the sense British. Fourth is Danish. And fifth is French. Simple, the shortcut PDEDF. Portuguese, Dutch, English, Danish and French. So you have to be in a position to catch. Okay, I'll go a little bit fast today. The first day, little bit slow I will go, but from tomorrow, jet speed. Okay. So if you see the background of the European merchants, background of the advent of the European merchants, the story begins from the 1453. Okay. What is the important significance of 1453? 1453, fall of Constantinople. Constantinople is a city which was in Turkey. The fall of Constantinople, it begins with the monopoly of Turkish. Okay. There was the end of Byzantine Empire in the 15th century, end of Byzantine Empire and the beginning of monopoly of Turkish. Okay, with the fall of Constantinople, rise of Turks and Romans in the Middle East. Okay, and here begins the crisis for the European nations. All the entire Europe went into crisis. Okay, what happened then? When Europe went into crisis, these European nations, now they started a movement called as Renaissance. Okay, there was financial crisis in the European nations. Then this movement has begun in the Europe, Renaissance movement. What do you mean by Renaissance? Renaissance in the sense, you know that rebirth. Generally, this is a Italian term. Okay, it all comes from Rome. Renaissance, it starts from rebirth. Now, as part of the Renaissance movement, all the European nations went into crisis and they started a new thing called as geographical discoveries. As part of the very, very important this thing, as part of Renaissance movement, European nations have started geographical discoveries. And at that point of time in Europe, there are 2 superpowers. In Europe, there are 2 nations which are superpowers. What are they? Portugal and Spain. Understand? Initially, Portugal and Spain are the 2 superpowers. So, Portugal, Spain. These 2 superpowers in the medieval Europe. Now, in this first Portuguese king is John II, we call him. He is a king of Portugal. Now he started a new adventure. Okay, and this John II had a son. Do anyone know? His name is Henry. Prince Henry. John II's son is Prince Henry. And this Prince Henry is having a nickname. You know, Henry had a nickname that is Navigator. A navigator. Now he is very much fascinated about the navigation. Understand? He is an ocean adventurer. He is very much interested in this. Now this Prince Henry, who is popularly called as Navigator, he started an institution called as Lisbon School of Academy. Understand? He started an institution, Lisbon School of Academy. Basically, Lisbon School of Academy is, Lisbon means capital of the Portugal. Understand? This Lisbon School of Academy will train all the adventurers, explorers, navigators to go and explore the new sea route to east. Understand? The purpose of this institution is to discover the new sea route to east. Just remember this chart. 1453, fall of Constantinople, means fall of Europe. After 1453, rise of Turks. Then it is due to this rise of Turkish Empire, the entire Red Sea, Arabian Sea. These two seas are very important, okay, in sea route. Red Sea and Arabian Sea was totally dominated by Arabs. It was totally dominated by Arabs. There was no scope for the Europeans to enter into this Red Sea and Arabian Sea. Okay, that's the reason Europe went into crisis. So if you get a question why Europe is in crisis, because West lost contacts with East. Europe lost its contact with India. So without trade with India, definitely Europe will go into the crisis. So Europe is in crisis. So now as Europe is in crisis, now they started geographical discovery. From here onwards, the actual modern India begins. So the first journey started by Portugal. Okay. Now who is that first adventurer or explorer, sea explorer? Who was, oh, you're directly jumping to Vasco da Gama. Even before Vasco da Gama, there are many who tried and failed. You know who is first one? Bartolomeo Diaz. Diaz, simply you remember Diaz, D-I-A-Z. He is the first explorer. He started his journey in 1480s. First one is Diaz. Diaz. Now what is the sole purpose? What is the purpose of Diaz? For what purpose he was trained? To discover a new sea route to India or to East. Understand? He have to discover sea route to India or East. Just a rough diagram. You know that in UPSC my optional is history, but I am not good at drawing diagrams. Okay, just adjust. Okay. Now tell me, which was the ancient sea route to India? Which was the ancient sea route? This thing. What is this sea? Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, then Arabian Sea. Generally, now this is the sea route. Okay, this is the sea route. Now this sea route now totally monopolized by Turks and also Arabs. Now this sea route is closed for the Europeans. Now Europe is in crisis. Now they started their journey from the west coast, Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Now Bartolomeo Diaz started his journey from around the Africa. Okay. Almost Bartolomeo Diaz, this Diaz reached up to this point called as Cape. After reaching to Cape, Diaz was very much scared. He was very much scared because it is a point where you see storms. Understand? It is very dangerous. It is highly risky. It is impossible to almost cross that area. Understand? He went back. He called this area as Cape of Storms. It is not Cape of Good Hope. It was initially called as Cape of Storms. Now there was a question once, who called it as Cape of Storms? Who called it? Diaz. Now he went back. He told the same thing to the Portugal King John. John says that it is not Cape of Storm, it is Cape of Good Hope. Still we have a hope. It is possible to cross that. So Portugal King John says it is Cape of Good Hope. Diaz says it is Cape of Storms. Fine. Diaz failed to discover the sea route to India. But one thing is very clear, when it comes to Diaz, you have to remember, Even though he failed to discover sea route to India, he created a history. What is that history? You know, he crossed this equator line. Diaz is the first person in the world who crossed equator, 0-degree line. He is the one who crossed it. History remembers in this way. Now, after Bartholomew Diaz, the second adventurer, the second explorer, Columbus. Okay, second one is Christopher Columbus. I think everybody knows this person. What is the significance? Instead of discovering sea route to India, why he discovered America? He discovered sea route to America. That is of no use to India. Okay, but still he is a failed person, Columbus. After Columbus, then the third one is third adventurer. First Diaz, second Columbus, third one is Amerigo. Third one is Amerigo Vespucci. He is a third explorer. He also embarked his journey towards the east, but still he failed to discover the sea route to India. Then the fourth one is, last one, Vasco da Gama. Now he created a history. He created history. Fourth one. In which year Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India? Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India on May 17th, 1498. This day is particularly, it's considered as a black day in the history of the world. It is a black day, man. Why it is black day? Because they successfully discovered and they started exploiting India. Understand? Vasco da Gama. But nobody knows this Vasco da Gama have discovered the sea route. He took the help of Arabs in the ships. Understand? With the help of Arabs, he navigated through the Indian Ocean. And where did this person Vasco da Gama reached at a point in India? Calicut. He reached at Calicut in India. Where is Calicut? Kerala. He reached at Calicut. And at that point of time, Kerala was ruled by his actual name was Manu Vikrama Varma. Understand? He was popularly called by Portuguese as Zamorin, but his name is Manu Vikrama Varma. He is popularly called as Zamorin. Zamorin means kings of seas. Zamorin means king of seas. So the Calicut Raja gave permission for them to settle at Calicut. And what is the point of agreement between this Calicut Raja and Portuguese guys? What did Portuguese do in this? Spices. Portuguese was very much interested in spice trade. Spice trade, particularly pepper, black pepper. And now these Portuguese started making settlements in India. So the first Europeans who came to India is Portuguese, right? So now Portuguese had settlements in India. What are the settlements? Settlement in the sense the place where Portuguese have settled and established the factories for trading purpose. What are all the places that Portuguese have settled? Both in the west coast and the east coast. Understand? I'll tell you few important. First, Calicut. Then next, Cochin. Then next, Cananore. These three comes under Malabar. These three comes under Malabar coast. Kerala. Calicut, Cochin and Cananore. Then after this, they have been to Goa. Understand? Goa. Then after Goa, they have been to Surat. Then next, Salsette. Then next, Dasein. Then next, Diu, Daman. Now all this comes under Bombay, Maharashtra, Gujarat coast. All these are the Portuguese settlements in the west coast, Kerala coast and also Konkan coast, Maharashtra, Gujarat. Out of all these coasts, out of all these settlements, which settlement is the most important for Portuguese? Goa. Goa. Anybody tell me in this class, how did Portuguese acquired Goa? How did these people get Goa? Generally Portuguese, not only Portuguese, any other Europeans when they come to India, they take permission of the local Rajas and they do settle there. Out of all this, Goa became their capital. Who is it? Who is that somebody? Who is it? Vijayanagara Emperor Sri Krishna Devaraya. Understand? Portuguese maintained very good relations with Vijayanagara Rajas. The contemporary political kingdom at that point of time is they have acquired Goa in 1510. Very important. Goa was acquired by Portuguese in 1510 with the help of Sri Krishna Deva Raya. This was actually the agreement between Sri Krishna Deva Raya and the second Portuguese governor Albuquerque. Sri Krishna Deva Raya and Albuquerque. It's very important Portuguese governor. There were some terms and conditions for this. Sri Krishna Deva Raya have defeated the local Bijapur Sultans and gave away that Goa to the Vijayanagara to Portuguese. In return, what Portuguese gave to Sri Krishna Deva Raya? In return, some Portuguese also gave something. Horse and saltpeter. Understand? Horses. Portuguese people, they gave horses and saltpeter to Vijayanagara Emperor. Vijayanagara Empire gave Goa. In this way, mutual exchange was happened between Sri Krishna Deva Raya and Albuquerque. Clear? Are you following? Now, what are the coasts in East? Settlements. What are the settlements in East Coast? East Coast is not much important for Portuguese. Remember, out of all the Europeans, only English and French have concentrated, Dutch have more concentrated on the East. Portuguese mainly focused on West Coast. Understand? In the East Coast, they have Machilipatnam, then Hooghly is in Bengal, and very important, Santom near Chennai. These are the only three important settlements for Portuguese in East Coast. Machilipatnam, Andhra Pradesh, Hooghly near Bengal, Santom near Chennai. These are the few. And Portuguese have governors. Basically, Portuguese, you have to know two things. For Portuguese, two things are very important. It's very important for Portuguese. One is trade. Understand? And another one is evangelism. Trade is important for them, and evangelism. What is evangelism? Christian conversions. Religious conversion is very important, because Portuguese comes to India with the permission of Pope Alexander. Pope is a head of church. So with the permission of Pope, something was given. Portuguese, when they come to, before they coming to India, they have acquired something called as Papacy of Bull. Papacy of Bull. You know what is Papacy of Bull? It is a permission letter. It is an authorization letter given by Pope to the Portuguese. And this Papacy of Bull is very important in evangelism. And take it for granted, this is one of the most important reason why Portuguese failed in India. Because they excessively concentrated on evangelism. More than trade, they focused on evangelism. But English is not such. English never bothered about religious conversions. English always focused on trade, commercial profits. Right. Trade and evangelism. So next, Portuguese, important Portuguese governor. Who is the first governor of Portuguese? First Portuguese governor, Francisco de Almeida. So, and this is the very first chapter in your spectrum. I mean, first in the sense, in the modern India. First unit in your spectrum book, modern India. First governor of Portuguese, Almeida. When it comes to Almeida, you have to remember two policies. Almeida brought two policies. First one, blue water policy. Second one, cartage system. Almeida introduced blue water policy. And second one is cartages. Cartages in the sense tokens. Portuguese will issue some kind of tokens to the rest of the ships who travels in the Arabian Sea. So to protect your trade, to protect your ships, you need the Portuguese permission. That is called cartage. Cartage means token. Understand? If you enter into the ship, if you enter into the sea without this cartage, then Portuguese will declare war. That is actually the purpose of cartage. In this way, Portuguese guys wanted to monopoly over the sea. Now tell me, who is the biggest competitor for the Portuguese in Arabian Sea? In Arabian Sea, already there is one player, who is dominating the trade, spice trade, Arabs. There was a huge competition between Portuguese and Arabs. So Portuguese, in order to get rid of this Arabs competition, they started blue water policy. Okay, they wanted to dominate blue water sea. Second governor, Albuquerque. Very, very, very important among the all. He is called as a real founder. He is called as real founder of the Portuguese Empire in India. He came to India not only for trade, not only for evangelism, but also he wanted to create Portuguese Samrajyam, empire. Understand? He is a real founder. Albuquerque. With Albuquerque, friendly relations with Vijayanagara Empire starts. By what is the year? When did this Albuquerque comes to India? Let's say in 1505. Okay, and who are the contemporary rulers at this point of time? South India was very, very big. Portuguese settled in this coast. Okay, Portuguese settled in this coast. At this point of time, this part is called Deccan. Deccan. It's called Deccan Plateau. Now, this Deccan Plateau is dominated by Bijapur, Muslim Sultans, Bijapur, and the rest of the whole South India was dominated by Vijayanagara. Now, there was always a power tussle going on between Muslims and Hindus, Bijapur and Vijayanagara. Now, in this, Portuguese started interfering and maintained good relations with Vijayanagara and defeated Bijapur. Now, Goa is actually part of Bijapur Empire. Understand? Vijayanagara Raja Sri Krishna Deva Raya defeated Bijapur Sultan, acquired Goa, gave it to Portuguese. In return, Portuguese gave something: horses. Okay? Right? Importance of second governor Albuquerque, he started commercial agriculture. Okay? He started commercial crops. What are those commercial crops? Tobacco, papaya, chilies. Tobacco, papaya, chilies, maize, all these commercial crops were started. Initially, Portuguese capital in the sense headquarters for their trade was actually Cochin. Later they shifted to Goa. Goa, in which year? Goa, 1510. And one of the very, very important point, second governor Albuquerque abolished sati. Abolished sati in Goa. Because Goa is a territory now totally under the control of Portuguese. Now he abolished sati. Albuquerque wanted to expand the Portuguese base in India. Understand? He wanted to expand Portuguese population in India, Albuquerque. For that, Albuquerque encouraged Portugal men to settle in India and marry the local women and produce the children and increase the Portuguese population. In this way, he protected the identity of all the Portuguese guys. Understand? So Albuquerque is the one who encouraged Portugal men for marriages. So Portuguese people got married to local Konkani Brahmin girls. This is the way how Portuguese started exploiting Goa. Local Goa girls were brutally exploited and brutally killed or raped. Even small children were killed if they were not married to the Portuguese guys. Understand? So the real expansion starts with Albuquerque. Which one? No, Goa is under the control of Portuguese only. No? There is no king for Goa. Goa is ruled by Portuguese. They are only the rulers. Understand? Now third governor. Third governor, Ninoda Kunha. He is a third governor, Ninoda Kunha. Now, He captured Surat. The very important thing which happened during his regime, he conquered Surat. By killing local Gujarat Raja Sultan Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah was brutally killed by third Portuguese governor Nino da Cunha. Understand? Surat comes under Gujarat. Gujarat was ruled by local Muslim ruler Bahadur Shah. He was brutally killed by this Portuguese governor, and Surat was occupied. Diu, Daman, etc. All these were occupied. His dead body was thrown nakedly in Arabian Sea. Nino da Cunha he wanted Gujarat. Further, who is interrupting this man Bahadur Shah? One day he called him to the dinner. Understand? In the ship, Portuguese ships are very, very luxurious. Okay, in the ship he gave very luxurious. He threw the party and enjoyed. Bahadur Shah was drunk and he was killed. His dead body was thrown out. This is the episode happened during his time. Surat was captured. Now, after that, fourth governor, Alfonso de Souza. He is the last governor, fourth and last. Actually, during his period, capital was shifted to Goa. Goa was conquered by Albuquerque. Capital shifted to Goa by Nino da Cunha. 1530. During his time, Goa became the capital in 1530. Previously, Goa was conquered by Albuquerque. Now it was made as capital in 1530. A fourth governor, Alfonso de Souza, is the last one. Then now, tell me what happened during his time. This was already PYQ, UPSC Prelims question. Saint Xavier, Francis Xavier. Saint Francis Xavier, the most popular saint, he visits to India. Understand? Now this man, he was the most revered, he was the most respected Christian in the entire Christian world. But unfortunately, Saint Francis Xavier started a policy in India. What is his main purpose? Evangelism. Okay, na? His purpose is evangelism. Why did he come to India? He wanted to start a policy called Goa Inquisition policy. He started a policy called as Goa Inquisition policy. Fine. According to this policy, temples will be converted to churches. According to this policy, Hindu women should marry to Christian men. If Hindu woman gets married to Christian men, then she would get many concessions. She would get the right to inherit the property of her father. Right to principal succession was given to the Hindu woman if they get married to Christians. This is what Goa Inquisition policy. So according to Goa Inquisition policy, I am repeating, lot of temples were converted into churches and forcible marriages, forcible conversions. Some kind of concessions were given to the Hindu woman that if you marry a Christian guy, then you would get right share from your father's property. Basically, this was not there in the Hinduism. So this is what you call Goa Inquisition policy. Importance of Saint Francis Xavier. He converted 7 lakh fishermen into Christianity. 7 lakh fishermen in the east coast near Chennai. He was very popular near Chennai. He converted 7 lakh fishermen into Christianity. This is his biggest achievement. Nobody could do that. No Christian could do that. He successfully did it. Manohar Parrikar, there was an intellectual, he wrote a book called as Goa Inquisition. Goa Inquisition is the name of the book. If you study that, you will understand the Portuguese atrocities on Indians. Understand? Right. Why Portuguese success in India? Why Portuguese is failed in India? First tell me success.
Because there is a support from Vijayanagara.
Very good. Very good. Because they have support from local Raja. Very powerful Raja. Sri Krishna Devaraya gave him support. Why? Understand? Up to 1565, you remember this year, up to 1565, Portuguese was very powerful in India because up to 1565, Vijayanagar rulers are very strong. So as long as Vijayanagar Empire is strong, Portuguese are strong. Now soon, after 1565 Battle of Tallikota, you see the downfall of Vijayanagar Empire, then you see the downfall of Portuguese. Understand? Rise of Vijayanagara is equal to rise of Portuguese. Fall of Vijayanagara is equal to fall of Portuguese. Understand? Next, another reason why they are success.
They are the first to come. So they have an trade.
Because they monopolized. They monopolized the entire Indian trade. And also, our Indians are largely dependent upon the foreign trade. Understand? We are totally dependent upon foreign trade. So, whatever the atrocities they do, even though we are very silent, because we need trade. Trade is very important. Our Rajas are dependent upon foreigners. Who gave, what did these Portuguese give to Vijayanagar Empire? Horses, saltpeter. So, we are depending upon them. So, despite many atrocities, we still entertained them in India. Okay? Then next reason, one of the reason for their success is they have very good ships, technology, ships. It is because of that navigation only they have discovered sea route to India, right? Why did they fail? What are the mistakes did by Portuguese in India?
They did concentrate good on trade.
They concentrated more on evangelism than trade. Number one, religious conversions. Then next, why did they fail? They failed because as soon as Dutch, English, Danish, French, once they came to India, the rival competition has been started. Understand? And why did they fail? Portuguese was badly defeated by Dutch. Portuguese was defeated by Dutch. Portuguese was defeated by English. Portuguese was defeated by Dutch and English. Both have been defeated Portuguese. Portuguese were drove out from the east coast. Totally they lost east coast. They lost east coast. Then next, Portuguese was very brutally defeated by Shah Jahan. The great Mughal emperor Shah Jahan have defeated the Portuguese in Hooghly, east coast. Portuguese was defeated by Shah Jahan. Portuguese was defeated by Bajirao. Bajirao won. Bajirao. Who is this Bajirao? Maratha Peshwa. Maratha Peshwa Bajirao have defeated the Portuguese and took over their two settlements, Salsette and Bassein. Both lost.
And they don't have a long-term goal.
Yeah, they don't have imperial ambitions. Why did Shah Jahan defeat Portuguese, you know? Why Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan concept focused on Portuguese, they wanted to expel them. Why, you know? Because Portuguese are eve-teasing Shah Jahan's royal family Muslim girls in a ship on their way to Mecca. Some Muslim girls are traveling to Mecca in ship and they have hired Portuguese ship in that. And these Portuguese guys are eve-teasing Muslim girls. For this reason, Shah Jahan have destroyed the entire Portuguese settlement called Hooghly. This is the first blow given to Portuguese by an Indian Raja. Understand? That's all. These are the reasons for their failure. And one more, end of papacy of Bull. This is also one of the reasons for their fall. End of papacy of Bull. What is papacy of Bull? Authorization letter given by Pope. Now its validity has been gone. Now next second European Dutch. After Portuguese, second European Dutch. When did Dutch come to India? In 1602. In 1602 they have come to India with the name of a company called Dutch East India Company. Understand? Dutch East India Company. Dutch focus is most on east coast than the west coast. Dutch mainly focused on east. Why?
So there was more gap. Portuguese.
Access to
Southeast Asia. Their main focus of trade is Indonesia. Dutch headquarters actually is in Indonesia. So just for namesake, they are in India. Okay, so they concentrated only on east coast. And what is the main item of trade for Dutch? Indigo. Dutch mainly concentrated on indigo trade. Dutch concentrated on spice trade. Dutch concentrated on cotton, muslin, and Dutch concentrated on silk. These are the items of trade that Dutch required for trade with Netherlands. Dutch. So Dutch is very, very powerful initially when it came to India. Dutch was very powerful than English. Okay. Dutch nature of trade, very, very important for prelims. Dutch nature of trade is called as Batavian trade. Dutch nature of trade is called Batavian trade. Batavian. This Batavian trade will be followed in 3 steps. Batavian trade will be followed in 3 steps. Okay. Step number 1. Buy spices in Indonesia. This is the step number 1. Buy spices in Indonesia at very, very low price. At very, very low price. This is the first step. Second step, sell at high price in Netherlands so that you will get profits. Step number 2. Step number 2. Understand? Step number 3. With all the profits they get, they have to invest in India. Step number 3. Invest in India. All the profits they have acquired shall be invested in India. Third step. So the triangular trade policy Dutch is following. Indonesia to Netherlands, Netherlands to India. Again India to Indonesia, Netherlands, India. This is called triangular trade. This is called Batavian trade. Who is the biggest competitor for Dutch in India? English. Because English came to India in 1608. They came to India in 1605. Understand? 1602 company was founded. They came to India in 1600. What are the settlements of Dutch? I told you mostly they are in East Coast. What are those settlements? Their first settlement is Machilipatnam. It's also called as Masulipatnam. Masulipatnam. Then next, the most important one, Pulicat. Pulicat, Nellore, Andhra Pradesh. Then after Pulicat, they went to even Nagapatnam, near Chennai. Then after Nagapatnam, Bhimilipatnam. Where is this? Vizag. Bhimilipatnam. Then next, Karaikal. Then next, Kasim Bazar. Kasim Bazar. Then next, Patna, etc., etc. The list goes on. These are all the settlements of Dutch in East Coast. Machilipatnam, Pulicat, Nagapatnam, Bhimilipatnam. Out of all this, the first capital of the Dutch is Pulicat. Later it was shifted to Nagapatnam. First capital and second capital. Every European company where they settled in India, they have capitals. Capitals in the sense headquarter. What was the headquarter of Portuguese? Initially, Cochin. Then next Goa. Last one, Kasim Bazar. Kasim Bazar near Bengal. Patna, Bihar. Karaikal, Tamil Nadu. So in the same way, Dutch initial capital is Pulicat, the next capital is Nagapatnam. Okay. Dutch failed. Why? What are the reasons for the failure of Dutch in India?
They couldn't face the English.
They couldn't face the English. Example?
English has high tech and high.
No, yeah, but Dutch was defeated by English in one battle. Yeah, and also Dutch were defeated by Kerala Raja Martanda Varma in 18th century. There was one local Raja ruled Kerala. Okay, Trivandrum, Battle of Kolachal we call. Okay, 1741, Battle of Kolachal, Martanda Varma defeated Dutch. Yeah. Exactly. Of course. They focused more on Indonesia rather than India. 1741 Battle of Kolachal. Who defeated whom? Battle of Kolachal? Marthandavarma defeated Dutch. Next, 1749 Battle of Badera. Sorry, 59, not 14. 1759 Battle of Badera. In Battle of Badera, English defeated Dutch. This is the last battle fought between English and Dutch. So these are the two battles where you see the downfall of Dutch. English defeated Dutch, Battle of Badera. Again, I will come to this Battle of Badera in the next coming classes. This is the journey of Dutch. A very small episode by Dutch. They came to India in 1605 and their end of Dutch in 1750, not more than 150 years. Then next, English, most powerful company, English East India Company. They have, this company was actually founded in 1600. I am not telling you that company came to India. I am telling you company was founded, established in 1600 by a group of merchants. There are total 24 shareholders in this company. Okay? Now stop writing, listen. Even before English East India Company's arrival to India, there were some English merchants who traveled to India and did survey on the fortunes of trade. What kind of fortunes, what kind of profits they may get with the trade with India. They have already surveyed. Who are those English travelers who came to India even before this company arrival to India? Ralph Fitch, John Mindenhall, Captain Hawkins, Thomas Roe. You have to remember these four names. Number one, Ralph Fitch. Ralph Fitch. He came to India. Then second one, John Mindenhall. John Mindenhall. Initially, you remember these two names. First, you remember these two names. These two are the earliest English travelers to India. Then next, in 1608, very important, Captain Hawkins. Captain Hawkins. In 1615, Thomas Roe. Thomas Roe came after the company coming to India. Captain Hawkins and Thomas Roe. There was once question in the exam. This Captain Hawkins and Thomas Roe entered into Indian waters in which ship? What is the name of that ship? English ship. Not Globe. There are two ships actually. Victoria and Hector. Victoria and Hector are the two ships, English ships. Victoria and Hector. See, first settlement of English is Surat in 1608. So the English ships Victoria, Hector came to Surat in 1608. Okay. Second settlement of English is Machilipatnam. From here they went to Machilipatnam. Second settlement. So into Machilipatnam they went to a ship called Globe. Here they changed the ship. This Victoria, Hector, and even Dragon also. Third ship, three ships totally. Dragon, Victoria, Hector are the three ships which came to Surat. The next Globe is the ship which reached to Machilipatnam. These are the English ships which came to India. So here the most important person among all these travelers you have to remember for exam, Captain Hawkins. Because it is because of this Captain Hawkins only the contemporary Mughal Raja Salim. At that time Mughal Emperor is Salim. Who is Salim Bhai? Who is the Salim Bhai? Jahangir. Understand that Mughal Emperor Jahangir gave permission for English to settle at Surat. Understand? In 1608, Mughal Emperor Jahangir. It's very, very important. So who took the permission? Hawkins. Now second, another traveler, Thomas Roe. I told you Thomas Roe. Thomas Roe also acquired permission from the Salim and occupied the settlements Agra, Ahmedabad, Bruch. These three settlements were acquired by Thomas Roe. Agra, Ahmedabad and Bruch. You know what is this Bruch? Where is this Bruch? Bruch is nothing but Barukacha, Gujarat. Agra, Ahmedabad and Bruch. So initially Hawkins took Surat. This man Thomas Roe took over Agra, Ahmedabad, Bruch. So these are the initial settlements of English. I can tell you one statement. Simply remember this. English followed Dutch wherever they went. Understand? What are all the Dutch settlements followed by English also? Pulikat, Bhimilipatnam, Karaikal, Nagapatnam, Kasim Bazar, Patna, Hooghly, everywhere Dutch and English equally settled there. So they are actually the competitors, Dutch and English. Now in this scene, Portuguese was not there at all. Portuguese was very badly defeated by these two powers. Understand? But you have to remember, not all these settlements. English have three headquarters. Unlike other Europeans, English doesn't have only one. English have three. What are those three? Headquarters. Madras, Bombay, Calcutta. Right? Madras, Bombay, Calcutta. These are the three headquarters for English. And three headquarters, three stories are there. Already PYQ, UPSC. Fast. What is the story of Madras? How did English get Madras? How did English get Madras? Already UPSC question. Huh? No, not even before Carnatic Wars. They have acquired Madras.
They introduced one system, sir.
Which one?
Some Captain Monroe, I guess.
No, you are going very far. Monroe is in 1700s. I am talking about 1600s only. Listen, I will tell you. In 1639, Chandragiri Raja, his name is Venkatapati Raja. Understand? His name is Venkatapati Raya. Rayala Varu we call. Venkatapati Raya 2. This man is Raja of Chandragiri. Where is Chandragiri? Near Tirupati. Understand? Tirupati. Venkatapati Raya 2. And his governor, Damerla Venkatadri Naidu. These two people, Raja and his governor, they both have donated Channapatnam to English East India Company. They donated Channapatnam to English East India Company. What is this Channapatnam? Chennai, Madras. Understand? They donated Channapatnam to English East India Company officer Francis Day. Very, very, very important. Francis Day. In 1639. So they have received or they have acquired Madras because of donation. One richest Raja in India, he donated Channapatnam to English East India Company. Now in this Channapatnam, this alias Madras, they have built a fort called as St. George Fort in Madras. Oh, who are all these guys? Raja of Vijayanagaram, Chandragiri Raja, Tirupati Daggara pedda court untadi, sir. Understand? Venkatapati Rayula Varu. They are none other than Vijayanagara emperors only. In Vijayanagara emperors, there are 4 dynasties: Sangama, Saluva, Tuluva, Araviti. Araviti dynasty, the last dynasty is last Raja Venkatapati Rayalo. This guy is the richest guy in India. Understand? It's like Ambani giving 10,000 rupees donation to a temple. Understand? He's a rich guy. But these fellows are not at all, they don't know anything. They don't know the consequences of this. What is the story of Bombay? Next. Marriage. Bombay was given as dowry to English by Portuguese. Understand? Bombay was received by an officer called as Gerald Angier. Bombay was received in 1661 by an officer, Gerald Angier. It is because of the matrimonial alliance between Portuguese and English. Dowry. Bombay was given as dowry. Bombay was received by an officer, Gerald Angier, and in Bombay they have built a fort called as David. Fort David. Fort David in Bombay. Bombay is actually called as Mumba Dweepam. So later it was named as Bombay by English fellows. Then after Bombay, then how did they get Calcutta? Calcutta story starts in 1690. In 1690, Mughal Emperor is Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb donated 3 villages to English East India Company. Understand? One day, Aurangzeb was suffering from fever. Whenever any Indian Raja is suffering from fever or jaundice or whatever, these English fellows are very, very smart and they try to take advantage. Understand? They extend their help to the local Rajas. They behave very smart and in return they get some concessions. Aurangzeb donated 3 villages to English East India Company. To an officer, to English East India Company officer Job Charnock. Job Charnock. What are these 3 villages? Govindapur, Satanauti, Kalikata. These are the 3 villages. Now these 3 villages are combined by English and built a very big city called Calcutta. Understand? Govindapur, Satanauti, Satanauti, and Kalikata, Kalikata. Kalikata was transformed into Calcutta. This is a story of English getting 3 villages. What is the relation between English East India Company and Mughals? English East India Company and Mughals. What is the relation between them? The relation between them is in 1717, after death of Aurangzeb, it is during the later Mughals. The Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar. In 1717, Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar granted Golden Farmana to English. Golden Farmana to English East India Company. Very, very important. 1717. Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar granted Golden Farmana to English. What is this Golden Farmana? Trade concessions. Understand? Golden Farmana means nothing but it is a document. Mughal gave it as a privilege to English East India Company. Free trade. But not everywhere in India. There are certain 3 places. In those 3 places, English East India Company need not to pay any kind of tax. Gujarat, Bengal, Bihar. In these 3 places. This is the very good relation established between Mughals and English. Why this Farrukh Siyar gave Golden Farmana? Why he is giving so much privilege to English? Because one day Farrukh Siyar was suffering from jaundice. And English East India Company sent their Dr. Alexander Hamilton with all kind of allopathy medicine. Finished, cured disease. Farrukh Siyar asked, what do you want by? Understand? And these fellows told, we want trade concession. Understand? Then after English, but I forgot to tell you one thing. In 1600, when English East India Company was founded, Queen at that point of time was Elizabeth. She gave charter. to English East India Company. Charter in the sense, monopoly charter we call. Exclusive trade rights to English East India Company to trade with India. But that charter's validity was only for 15 years. Understand? Are you following? Charter's validity only for 15 years. After the death of Elizabeth, next England Raja James. That James extended the validity of this charter to an indefinite period. Are you understanding my statement? Initially, who gave? For how many years? 15. Later, King James extended the validity of charter to indefinite period. What do you mean by indefinite period? We do not know. It may be extended to any period of time. And when did this charter's validity come to end? I will tell you in the next classes. Okay na? In 1813, 1833 Charter Acts are 1813 Charter Act, 1833 Charter Acts totally ended up the validity of the charter. So 200 years these guys will enjoy the monopoly rights to have trade with India. Okay na? Right, next coming Danish. Danish is the worst company. Danish East India Company was founded in 1616. Okay, and they focused more on evangelism than trade, same like Portuguese fellows. Understand? In 1616, they have established the factory at Tanjore, and their headquarters is at Serampur, Bengal. In 1616, they have established the first settlement at Tanjore, Tamil Nadu, Tanjavur, and headquarters for Danish in the sense which country? Denmark. A small country in Europe. Denmark also came to India. Its headquarters is in Serampur near Bengal. And the importance of these Danish guys, evangelism, I told you, they have started printing press. They started printing Bibles in the local languages and spread the Christianity. And finally, by 1845, just their identity in India for 200 years. In 1845, Danish have sold away all their settlements to English and they left India. Okay? In 1845, Danish sold away their settlements to English. Tanjore, Serampore, even in Andaman Nicobar Islands also, these guys have the settlement. So very short episode of Danish. The last one is French, the real heroes in India. French East India Company was founded in 1664, but they came to India in 1668. The last one, French East India Company. It was established in 64, but they came to India in 68, and their first settlement is Surat. Second settlement is Machilipatnam. These are the two most important settlements for both English and French. Surat and Machilipatnam. The next other settlements of French, Mahe. Another settlement is Karaikal. Another settlement, Mahe Kerala, Karaikal, Tamil Nadu. Mahe, Kerala. Chander Nagore in Bengal. Chander Nagore. And apart from all these, the most important one, Pondi. This is the headquarter, Pondicherry. Pondicherry is the headquarters of the French. Pondicherry was actually called as Valikondapuram. And this Valikondapuram was ruled by a Muslim Raja. And these French guys have acquired the permission from that Valikonda Raja and acquired this Valikondapuram. And Valikondapuram was name changed to Pondicherry. And this Pondicherry acted as the important headquarters for French trade in the entire India. And this, you know all that, Pondicherry is very, very near to Chennai. Hardly it is just 2 hours journey. So as English and French were nearer to each other, here starts the rivalry. That rivalry was there in the form of 3 Carnatic Wars. Total 3 Carnatic Wars. These 3 Carnatic Wars are also called as Anglo-French Wars. Understand? And the hero of the English East India Company is Robert Clive. Hero of the French East India Company is Dupleix. The most important French governor is Dupleix. But he is not the first governor. First governor is Francis Martin, Francois Martin. He is the first governor. First governor, important governor. Francois Martin, first governor. This Francois Martin only have built the city called Pondicherry. He only developed the city Pondicherry. Like how Madras was developed by Francis Day. Understand? How Calcutta was developed by Job Charnock. In the same way, Pondicherry was developed by Francois Martin. But the most important governor, Dupleix. Dupleix is ambitious. Dupleix is diplomat. The great diplomat. Dupleix is a warrior. Dupleix is a great statesman. What not? This man, his vision is totally different. Understand? He is more powerful than English fellows. Accidentally, English East India Company have ruled India. Otherwise, French should rule India. Understand? English is having luck.
Sir, it's not accidentally. English played well at Europe, and they called back to play.
Second Carnatic War.
It's a political game. English was not. They played there.
No, it's a political game. In this political game, initially everywhere you see French only scored victory.
Yeah.
But there are some certain instances where there is luck for British. Luck favored always for them. So in this political game, always this guy is very powerful. He proved that he is very powerful than English. Now first Carnatic War. First Carnatic War, 1744 to 1748. 44 to 48, first Carnatic War. What do you mean by Carnatic?
It's happened in the Carnatic region.
It is a place in Madras, near Madras. It's a place. Carnatic is a Muslim kingdom. Okay, it was ruled by a Muslim Raja Anwaruddin. It was one of the princely state, Carnatic kingdom. Carnatic kingdom. Carnatic kingdom's capital city, Arcot. ARCOT, Arcot. And this Carnatic kingdom's Raja Anwaruddin is a Muslim Raja. Now in his premises, there are 3 wars happened between English and French. What is the reason for first Carnatic War?
Who wants to become the ruler?
Where?
Succession.
Where? Austria. In Europe, there is a small country, Austria. Austrian succession war. Something is going on in Austria, international politics. In Austria,
Ayer was there at that time.
which one?
Ayer was there at that time.
In Austria, there was war going on between 2 powers. In that 2 powers, English and French both, interfered. It is actually the war between England and France. And reflection of that is first Carnatic War. So basically here these fellows don't have any reason. Understand? Their fathers are fighting there, here sons are fighting. Understand? Story starts like this. In the midnight, Dupleix started his journey from Pondicherry, is coming to Chennai to attack St. George Fort in Madras. With 2 ships, 1200 army. With just 1200 army, Dupleix started his journey. He reached Madras by morning 4. Suddenly attacked St. George Fort. There are total 500 English merchants taking rest in that fort. All those 500 merchants, they did not understand anything. They ran away and came to Anwaruddin Bhai, local Raja. And local Raja is always sympathetic to English, not French. He is very helpful for English because English is very smart. Understand? Now here, Dupleix declared war on Anwaruddin. Okay? Here actually this first Carnatic War is between Dupleix, French governor, and Anwaruddin, Carnatic Nawab. Here English supported Anwaruddin. This is called Battle of Santhome. Within the first Carnatic War, there is a battle called Battle of Santhome, 1746. Santhome, Chennai, near Chennai. Battle of Santhome is between whom? Anwaruddin and Dupleix. Dupleix defeated Anwaruddin. What is the army of Dupleix? I told you? 1200. Do you know what is the army of Anwar? 8,000. 1200 army defeated 8,000 army. How come it is possible? Technology. Everything. Discipline, skills, everything matters here. This is the first battle in the modern Indian history where a foreigner defeated Indian Raja. Understand? 1746, Battle of Santhome. In near Chennai, there is a place called Adyar. There actually Santhome battle happened. Understand? Dupleix defeated Anwar. Now tell me who scored victory in first Carnatic War? French. But the result in Austria is totally different. There English defeated French. In India, French defeated English. Okay? Tit for tat. Now for this, they signed a treaty called Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. This is the treaty. With this treaty, everything was settled. Tu kitta, mai kitta. Understand? Treaty of Aix, A-I-X, La, L-A, Chapelle, Aix-la-Chapelle. Now next, Second Carnatic War. Second Carnatic War, 1749 to 1754. Second Carnatic War, now there is no external reason, only internal reason. Here, the political crisis in two kingdoms. Political crisis, there was political crisis happened in two kingdoms. Kingdoms in the sense, British used this expression called princely states. So in two princely states, there was political crisis. One is Hyderabad, another one is Carnatic. Hyderabad and Carnatic. Some problem going on. English, the nature of these English fellows and French fellows is such that in our house, me and my brother are fighting. Understand? Suddenly these two Europeans will interfere. One fellow will support me, another fellow will support my brother. Finally, these two Europeans will expel from our house. And they will occupy, they will monopolize our house. And they will design everything. Are you understanding? So Hyderabad, Carnatic, two kingdoms. Internal rivalries are going on. Everyone know about Hyderabad? What do you know about Hyderabad? Hyderabad is the biggest princely state in India, in modern India. Hyderabad is ruled by Nizams, Asafzais. First Nizam of Hyderabad is Nizamul Mulk, and that Nizamul Mulk died. Nizamul Mulk had total 8 wives, 24 children. Every children having again 4. There are 2 to 3 IPL teams. Understand? So there was a total mess by in Hyderabad. Hyderabad next Nawab is Nazir Jung. Nazir Jung is a Nawab of Hyderabad. Opposition is Muzaffar Jung. Muzaffar Jung. Now there was rivalry going on between these two brothers, Nazir Jung and Muzaffar Jung. Yes. Now Nazir Jung is supported by English East India Company. Muzaffar Jung supported by French East India Company. This is a picture of Hyderabad. Always English and French wanted to take the advantage of the conflict between the Rajas. Next, Carnatic. Same picture, same scene repeats in Carnatic. Who is the Nawab of Carnatic? Tell me. Anwar. Anwar Bhai. Opposition. And the one who is fighting against Anwar, Chanda Saheb. This is the picture. Anwar is supported by English. Chanda Saheb supported by French. What is the result? What is the result of the battle? Who defeated whom? In two kingdoms, who defeated whom? Who scored victory?
First war, French got more. Then second time, British got casualties.
In this Hyderabad, in this Carnatic War, French East India Company, I told you who is the governor? Very, very powerful Dupleix. Dupleix murdered Nazir Jung. Understand? Muzaffar Jung is going to be the next Nawab. Remember guys, these guys are called as sponsored candidates. Nazir Jung, Muzaffar Jung, Anwar, sponsored candidates. Who are sponsored candidates? They are supported by Europeans. Now they will be becoming Nawabs by this support only. Understand? Tomorrow they will rule according to their wishes only. So they are called sponsored candidates. So next Muzaffar Jung is going to be the Nawab here. Here, now the picture. Dupleix killed Anwaruddin. Next Chanda Saheb is a Nawab. So in two cases, who scored the victory? French. In two kingdoms, French supporting candidates are going to become Nawabs. Now in this picture, in 1751, no, actually you have to remember this, 1749 Battle of Ambur. 1749 Battle of Ambur. In this Battle of Ambur, French scored victory in two kingdoms. Duplay. Ambur battle. In this Ambur battle, in Hyderabad and also in Carnatic, the same battle, French have scored the victory over English. Suddenly in this, still the second Carnatic War is not over. Suddenly in this picture,
There is an on.
So there is a limit of 25 slides.
Yeah, yeah,
Just delete it. No, delete of.
oh, no, we can add pages here.
No, sir.
Okay. Suddenly, in 1751, Robert Clive entered into the picture. Clive have done siege of Arcot. 1751, Robert Clive. Siege of Arcot. What do you mean by siege of Arcot? Captured. Arcot was suddenly captured and the entire situation in Carnatic Kingdom was taken control over by him. Duplay was arrested. Duplay was arrested for how many days? You know, for 53 days. For 53 days, Duplay was arrested by Clive. The strongest, the warrior, the great warrior Duplay, a small mistake of Duplay have to pay a lot of price, very high price. Understand? Duplay was in the eve of a midnight, 2:30. This fellow was arrested and kept in jail. Now Robert Clive went and directly captured Arcot. The entire scenario of Second Carnatic War took a U-turn. Understand? In these 53 days, everything was changed. Now Robert Clive, what he did, you know? Robert Clive. Okay. Robert Clive. Clive killed. Who is the Carnatic Nawab? Who was the Carnatic Nawab? Chanda Sahib. Carnatic Nawab Chanda Sahib was a sponsored candidate of French. Now that Chanda Sahib was killed by Clive, and next Muhammad Ali was made as Carnatic Nawab. Who is this Muhammad Ali? You know, son of Anwaruddin. Here there will be a lot of confusion. Okay, in Carnatic Wars. Next, Robert Clive killed Carnatic Nawab Chanda Sahib and appointed Muhammad Ali as the next Nawab of Carnatic. Who is this Muhammad Ali? Son of Anwaruddin. Adi. Second Carnatic War ended up with Treaty of Pondicherry. 1754, Treaty of Pondi. The war ended up with this Treaty of Pondicherry between English and French. (1756 to 1763), Third Carnatic War. 56 to 63, Third Carnatic War. It is also called 7 Years War. I mean, the reason for this is 7 Years War in America. Now again there is an external reason. 7 Years War in USA. This is the reason.
They were fighting for the colonization of
USA. Some colonial war going on between England and France in USA. Now as a result, it gave results in India, Third Carnatic War. So in this Third Carnatic War, very, very important, 1760, Battle of Vandy Wash. 1760, Battle of Vandy Wash. In this Battle of Vandy Wash, English East India Company defeated French. English defeated French. This is the last battle fought between English and French. With this, Carnatic Wars are out. There is an end for Carnatic Wars. This is the most important battle. This is a deciding factor Understand? Which wrote the fate of French. Here you see the lost. French have lost everything with this battle. Now just after 3 years, 1763, Treaty of Paris was signed. 1763, Treaty of Paris. So you have to remember two things. 1760, Battle of Vandivash. 1763, Treaty of Paris between English and French. What is this Treaty of Paris?
Colonies which were taken and French were given back to
Colonies which were?
taken.
I mean, you are talking about USA. Resulting? No, India.
Same Duplay was sent back to.
No. Actually, Duplay out. By this third Carnatic War, there is no Duplay.
After second only he
After second, he went away. Now, according to this Treaty of Paris, no. According to Treaty of Paris, French East India Company shall remain in India only as mere merchants. Understand? French shall remain in India as just mere merchants. They should not involve in the politics. They should not or they shall not interfere in the local politics. Okay? Only trade. They have to be limited themselves only for trade. They should not interfere in the local politics. And also, they should not maintain good relations with any other Rajas in India. No relations. French shall not maintain weapons. French shall not have forts. Understand? French shall not have weapons, forts, army. Nothing is thereby. They are only traders, merchants in India. That's all. It does not mean that French is leaving India. French is there in India till 1954. Understand? In Pondicherry, just as a merchants. Now, so which battle decided the fate of French in India? Battle of Vandivash. It is also called as Battle of Vandavasi. It is actually called as Vandavasi. French used to call it as Vandivash near Tamil Nadu. Of course. Now, with this battle, now you can only tell that who is monopoly, superpower in India? English. That's all. Here starts English imperialism. English East India Company's imperialism. English imperialism will be in two ways. One way, wars. In other way, policies. How English East India Company have conquered the Indian subcontinent? How? With two strategies. One is war, another one policies. Where they are going for war by? Because wherever they feel this princely state is very powerful, it is a threat for them, they go for war. Wherever they feel this is a small princely state, they will implement the policy over there. Policies means, again, there are three important policies. First policy is ring fence, policy of ring fence. Second policy, policy of subsidiary alliance. Third policy is doctrine of lapse. Three policies you have to remember. First policy, policy of ring fence, R-I-N-G, ring fence, F-E-N-C-E. Next, subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance. Next is doctrine of lapse. First, we will discuss wars, then we will go to policies. Wars. First, English East India Company targets Bengal. Bengal is the first state in India, first princely state in India conquered by English East India Company. So, English imperialism starts with Bengal. Why do you think they targeted first Bengal only? Bengal has a lot of fertile lands. Bengal has ports. Bengal has rich rajas. Bengal's trading conditions are very favorable. And in Bengal, they have many settlements. Like Chittagong, they have Kasim Bazar, they have Hooghly, they have Patna, they have. Hey, one more thing I want to tell you. Bengal means not only Bengal. Bengal means Bihar, Orissa, Bengal. Even East Bengal also comes under that. Bangladesh.
Bangladesh also.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to tell you. What are the factors responsible? Because in UPSC you will be getting mostly statement based questions. And then now there is one statement based question. Which factor is responsible for the rise of English imperialism? Why do you see English so much powerful in India? What are the external factors contributed for that? Because you have to tell now, fall of Aurangzeb, death of Aurangzeb. Tell me, by Aurangzeb died in which year? 17? 17, not 7. Antena? That is the beginning of Mughal, downfall of Mughals. And then you see the rise of English. Understand? Because the later Mughals are very weak. Understand? Next, another factor for English imperialism. Downfall of Aurangzeb. Second factor, foreign invasions in 18th century. Sir, 18th century in the Indian history, in the modern Indian history is very, very important, sir. Powerful princely states in the modern India after the death of Aurangzeb, that is in 18th century. Hundreds and hundreds of princely states are formed. 6 in Punjab, Marathas in Maharashtra, Hyderabad Nizams, Carnatic Tamil Nadu, Bhopal Rajas, Kerala Nayars, Kerala Trivandrum Nayars. Bengal is one of the biggest princely state. Kashmir ka Raja, understand? And Jats is one of the princely state. Rohilkhand is princely state. UP is one princely state. Understand? In this, Bengal is the biggest one. Etc. etc. Dot 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 dot. Hundreds and hundreds of princely states. You will not even imagine if I tell you that in India there are 800 princely states, more than 800 princely states. Now, there is no unity. Why? This is the biggest problem. No unity between all these princely states. And this is the factor, advantage for English. The disunity between all the princely states. Yeah. Very weak political system in the modern India, in the 18th century. And one more important princely state, Mysore. Mysore is one princely state. Sindh is one princely state. Rajputs are princely states, etc. etc. The list goes on. Now, in the midst of this political situation, there is one fellow who conquered India, who invaded India. Nadir Shah. In 1739, Nadir Shah invaded Delhi. One more thing I forgot to tell you. In the midst of these circumstances, Mughals is also there. Mughals is always the boss of India. Mughals means later Mughals. Even though later Mughals are very weak, still Mughals are the boss of entire Hindustan. All these princely states born from the Mughals only. Kada? Are you understanding my point? Where is this Hyderabad coming from? From Mughals only. Adi. So, Mughal is still the most important role playing, important factor in the 18th century politics. Now, in 1739, Nadir Shah attacked Delhi. He invaded Delhi. Understand? Next, 1748, 49, 51, 61. 4 years. 1748, 49, 51, 61. Ahmed Shah Abdali also invaded India. Invaded Delhi. Very, very important. Afghanistan Raja. In 1739, Nadir Shah invaded Delhi. 1748, 49, 51, 61, 4 times Afghanistan Raja Abdali. He invaded Delhi.
And he's the one who took Kohinoor of Shah Jahan.
Actually, Nadir Shah took it. Yeah.
And the work of 13
Nadir Shah from Iran. Abdali from Afghans. So these are all foreigners invading India. Abdali invaded Delhi. Now, I am asking you this question. Among all the princely states, which is the powerful princely state? Forget English for some time. I am discussing about 18th century politics. Who is a powerful princely state in India? Delhi means Mughals. Mughals are weak. Marathas. And Maratha was ruled by total 5 confederacies. Peshwas, Bonsles, Honkars, Bonsles, Gaikwads, Sindhyas, Holkars, total 5 are there. In this, Peshwas are very powerful. Understand? Are why one side from one side Nadir Shah attacking Delhi, other side Abdali attacking Delhi. Mughals are not in a position to protect themselves. Now, who is the most important? Peshwas. Peshwas entered into the picture. Now, in this circumstance, Peshwas started collecting chowth. If you study Maratha chapter, you will understand what is this chowth. Chowth means tax collected from others. Understand? Mughals paid chowth to Marathas. Now it is the responsibility of Marathas to protect Delhi. Are you understanding? Ante, the responsibility of protecting Delhi, Hindustan, is in the hands of Marathas. Now Marathas threw a challenge to Afghan, Abdali. This led to Third Battle of Panipat. 1761, Third Battle of Panipat between Ahmed Shah Abdali and Maratha Peshwa Balaji Bajirao. ఇక్కడ ఇంగ్లీష్కి ఏం లేదండి, ఇంగ్లీష్కి సంబంధం లేదు. ఇంగ్లీష్ ఈజ్ సైలెంట్లీ వాచింగ్ ఆల్ దిస్, అంతే. అండర్స్టాండ్? 1761, Third Battle of Panipat. Yes, they are waiting for opportunity. Still, why still English is silent? Because powerful Rajas are there in India, Marathas. Now, what is the result of Third Battle of Panipat? Who defeated whom? Abdali defeated Marathas. Abdali very brutally defeated Maratha Confederacy. The entire confederacy was dismantled by Abdali. Marathas was at the verge of defeat. Now this defeat of Marathas is an advantage to Adi, English. So this factor also favored English imperialism. Are you able to link dots, connect the dots? Subsidy alliance in 1798. Still we are in 1761 only. So from here onwards, you see English started interfering in Maratha politics, which led to Anglo-Maratha Wars. Understand? Even the same, Mysore was very weakened. They started Anglo-Mysore Wars. Understand? Carnatic was weak, Carnatic Wars. So this is what imperialism, wars. Now in these wars, first we will discuss Bengal. बंगाल का नवाब सिराज. So first English imperialism starts with Bengal only. Bengal Nawab is Siraj-ud-Dawla. He is a very young boy, just a 22-year-old boy. 22-year-old, just finished his BTech, became Nawab. Nothing he knows. Directly he became Raja. Nothing he knows. Nepotism. Understand? But he is a great warrior. He is very dynamic. Never he entertained English or French or any other European on his soil. Understand? Why you know? Because his forefathers told him, never trust anybody in our Bengal. Never entertain anyone, because they have already seen what happened in Carnatic in Hyderabad. What happened in Carnatic and Hyderabad? Understand? You are doing your own job in your kingdom. You have some rivalry with your own brother or sister. Suddenly these fellows will interfere. And they will defeat us. They will expel us. They will take over and they will design all the policies. So, Siraj is very strict about English and French. Despite all these difficulties, still English started interfering in Siraj policy. What is the disturbing relation between Siraj-ud-Dawla and English East India Company? How come this would happen? English East India Company maintained all kinds of weapons on Fort William. I did not tell you this. In Calcutta, they have Fort William. Okay, they have weapons. English East India Company started misused dastaks. Dastak means golden farmanatai. Understand? They started misusing it. They started using weapons. English East India Company gave shelter to Nawab's rivals. సిరాజుద్దౌలాకి ఉన్న శత్రువులకు ఇంగ్లీష్ ఈస్ట్ ఇండియా కంపెనీ షెల్టర్ ఇస్తుంది. ఎవడు ఇవ్వమన్నాడు నేను? అర్థమైందా? వై ఆర్ యూ ఇంటర్ఫియరింగ్ ఇన్ దేర్ పాలసీస్? ఇంగ్లీష్ ఈస్ట్ ఇండియా కంపెనీ గేవ్ షెల్టర్ టు నవాబ్స్ రైవల్స్. అండర్స్టాండ్? Considering all these factors, Siraj attacked English East India Company Fort William. Understand? In which year, you know? Which year?
23rd June 1757.
I am not going to 1757. I am talking in 1756. 1 year before what happened, you know? Black Hole tragedy. Siraj-ud-Dawla attacked English East India Company Fort William in 1756. Fort William. What is a tragedy? Black hole tragedy. 133 English East India Company officers were killed brutally by Siraj. By pushing them into a small room, they died with suffocation. No ventilation. Black hole tragedy. This black hole tragedy is the reason for Battle of Plassey. 1757 Battle of Plassey. Understand? June 22nd. Battle of Plassey ki reason ఏంటి అంటే black hole tragedy. So in prelims point of view or mains point of view, what happened in the Battle of Plassey is not important for exam. Why and also result. Consequences of Battle of Plassey is very important. Okay. So what happened in Battle of Plassey? Who killed whom? Tell me. Actually, let me tell you this story in a brief. Battle of Plassey, how all it went, you know. It is because of the conspiracy of the Clive. Robert Clive started making conspiracy to kill Siraj-ud-Dawla. It was not very easy for a company to kill this fellow, to kill this Nawab. It's very difficult to kill a Nawab. And all kinds of conspiracies were designed by Clive. How Clive designed conspiracy? First, Clive met Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar was commander. He was given Nawab position. He did not take place in battle. Then he also spoke to Jagat Seth. He was offered 40 lakh rupees. He also spoke to Kidam Khan. He also spoke to that fellow Jamindar is there one. Big Jamindar is there, Burdawan Jamindar. They are all actually very good close friends of Siraj, very close associates of Siraj. All the close friends and family members of Siraj-ud-Dawla was diverted to Clive. They were attracted to Clive's offers. Understand? This is a diplomacy of a bureaucrat. Here, the Clive is inspiration for every bureaucrat. Understand? Inspiration means in diplomacy, not in conspiracy. Okay. So finally, Battle of Plassey started. As soon as the battle started, within just 15 to 20 minutes, Siraj was killed. So as expected, next Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal. Understand? And as expected, Robert Clive company started interfering in Jafar's affairs, Mir Jafar's affairs, in administration. Understand? And that led to the Battle of Badera. Battle of Badera, Jafar versus English East India Company. In this, Mir Jafar was supported by even Dutch also. That's why I told you this Battle of Badera in Dutch. Understand? Now, what is the result of Battle of Plassey? Result of Battle of Plassey is, from here onwards, Bengal started ruling by sponsored candidates. I told you already sponsored candidates. Who are those sponsored candidates? Jafar. Then next after Jafar, Mir Qasim. Understand? Now, when Mir Qasim came to power, Qasim declared war on company. Buxar. That is Battle of Buxar, 1764. Battle of Buxar is fought between three parties. One side, company, other side. Who are those three parties? Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II came in support of Qasim. And also Shuja-ud-Dawla also came in support of Qasim. So Qasim, Shuja, Shah Alam versus English East India Company. In 1764 Battle of Buxar, there was no Clive. Here, Major Hector Munro, not that Thomas Munro. Thomas Munro is different. Here, Hector Munro. Single-handedly, Hector Munro defeated all the three parties. Understand? 1764 Battle of Buxar, Company again, once again scored its victory. I am asking you the difference. A statement based question. What is the difference between Battle of Plassey and Buxar?
Battle of
Robert
Plassey
Clay
between
all-
Lord Clement
all-
and Nawab. But in Battle of Buxar, it is between Triple Alliance and
Oh, in Battle of Plassey also there is company. Robert Clay means, who is Robert Clay? One of the bureaucrat of the company only.
Treaty of Allahabad.
No. With Battle of Plassey, English scored victories with conspiracies. Okay? So their company's diplomacy or conspiracy was proven. With Battle of Buxar, company proved itself as the greatest warriors also. Because they defeated three powerful kingdoms, Mughals, Awadh, Bengal. So military, in the military perspective also, company is very powerful. There only you see diplomacy in Battle of Plassey. Understand? That's why there is a statement based question given in UPSC. With Battle of Plassey, company controlled Bengal or conquered Bengal. But with Battle of Buxar, company consolidated its power in India. Understand? Initially they only controlled, later they consolidated their power because three powers came under their control. Now in 1765, next year, they signed the Treaty of Allahabad. Understand? Very, very important. Treaty of Allahabad was signed between, who designed this treaty? Clive. Now Clive is back to India. Understand? And one more thing I want to tell you. After Battle of Plassey, what did Mir Jafar give to Clive? Because he only made him Nawab. What did Mir Jafar give to Clive?
Diwani right to 24.
Very good. Diwani rights over 24 parganas. That is given to company. Personally, something given to Clive, 2,34,000 pounds were personally given to Clive. That's bribe. A company bureaucrat, Robert Clive, he is taking bribe from local Raja. This is a corruption. This is not inspiration. Definitely not. This is diplomacy of Clive. Corruption. He is the most corrupt man in company. That's why in 1773 Regulating Act, understand, there is a provision in that act that company should limit itself only to trade. No corruption in officials. It is something like an IAS officer was caught while taking bribes. Treaty of Allahabad is actually designed by Robert Clive. It's a master stroke given by Clive. According to the Treaty of Allahabad, first one, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam shall leave Delhi and come and settle at Awadh. He was taken shelter in Awadh. He will be given shelter in Awadh. So with this, Delhi out. Delhi came under the control of English East India Company, British. Next, number 2, Shuja. Who is Shuja? Nawab of Awadh. Now Shuja have to pay 50 lakh rupees to English East India Company. 50 lakh rupees as compensation. 50 lakh rupees to Awadh. To company. And also, Shuja have to depend upon protection from English East India Company. Understand? From here onwards, Shuja have to depend upon company's protection only. So Shuja should not maintain army. Here starts actually the idea of subsidiary alliance. Understand? What is subsidiary alliance? I will give you protection, you have to pay me money. That's all. Next, third one. What about Bengal now? Qasim. Now, Bengal. In Bengal state, in the entire Bengal state, diarchy shall be introduced. Diarchy shall be. What is diarchy? Dual rule. What is this diarchy? What are those two governments called as? What is this term? Term is very important. Diarchy means two governments in the same state. Diwani, Nizamat. Diwani and Nizamat. Diwani means right to collect revenue. Nizamat means Nizamat. Civil and general administration.
And to collect revenue, other to take the
Exactly. Diwani means right to collect revenue, revenue pass. Nizamat means general and civil administration. Now, this Diwani will be taken over by English East India Company. Nizamat will be taken over by Nawab. The responsibility of Nizamat is in the hands of Nawab of Bengal. Who is the Nawab of Bengal? Qasim. Qasim will look over only civil administration in the state.
But he was replaced again by Major
That is after 1765.
in dual war.
Yes. Now Diwani will be taken over by company. Now Diwani over entire Bengal state. Understand? Bengal state means Bengal, Bihar, Orissa. Understand? What did you understand with this treaty? What did you understand with this treaty?
making money.
Oh, company. Without any
Without any administrative role.
without any responsibility. Understand? With Treaty of Allahabad, English East India Company is enjoying the whole revenue of Bengal without taking any responsibilities. Idi kada master stroke ante. What is the status of Bengal now? They have to look over everything. They have to take care of administration. They have to take care of general civil administration, everything. But they are not having revenue. Then how come they will get revenue? Even English East India Company itself pay 9 lakh rupees per annum to Bengal Nawabs. Nawabs will be getting 9 lakhs rupees per annum from Bengal Nawabs. For what purpose? For general and civil administration. So this is what you call diarchy. Understand? So if you get question in the exam, who introduced diarchy in Bengal? Answer is Clive, according to Treaty of Allahabad. Okay. Now next question is, who abolished diarchy in Bengal? Warren Hastings. In which year? 1772. Right. 1772. Warren Hastings abolished diarchy. Warren Hastings abolished diarchy in Bengal. Now, by abolishing diarchy in Bengal, even now Nizamat also taken over by company. Previously, only Diwani was there for company. Now, even they have taken over even Nizamat also. Now, there is no diarchy. Only one rule in Bengal. That rule will be like EIC, company. Ante, sir, Bengal పూర్తిగా కంపెనీ కంట్రోల్లోకి ఎప్పుడు వచ్చింది? 72లో వచ్చింది. మరి 1772 వరకు ఎవరు రూల్ చేశారు? స్పాన్సర్డ్ క్యాండిడేట్స్. అర్థమైందా? అదే. సో దాట్స్ వై now with 1770, listen here, with 1772, with abolition of diarchy by Warren Hastings, company, the nature of the English East India Company has totally transformed from a private company to a political power. That's why to give authority to this, to give approval for this, England Parliament passed 1773 Regulating Act. Understand? Now 1773 Regulating Act authorized the company rule in India, in Bengal. Clear? Otherwise company Indiaకి వచ్చింది ఎందుకు సార్? వ్యాపారం. మరి కంపెనీ నేచరే చేంజ్ అయిపోయింది. Now they started acquiring territories. For that England gave permission through act. Here begins regulating acts. What do you mean by regulating acts? So through this regulating act, English East India Company will be regulated by England Parliament. English East India Company is not allowed to rule in India, according to its own whims and fancies. Understand? They have to follow the instructions given by Parliament. So what does this 1773 Regulating Act says? Point number 1. Lakshmikant, textbook, first chapter, first page. 1773 Regulating Act. Governor of Bengal becomes Governor General of Bengal, and Governor of Bombay, Governor of Madras becomes subordinate to Governor General of Bengal. Accordingly, who is the first Governor General of Bengal? Warren Hastings. Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. Which year? 74. Supreme Court in Calcutta in 1774. John Elijah Impey, first Chief Justice. Understand? Next, company English East India Company was not allowed for private trade. This is also one of the provision in Act. Ardhamainda statement. English East India Company is not allowed for private trade. They are only allowed to trade with England. No private trade is allowed in company. What do you mean by this private trade?
Other nations.
Corruption. Company officers are buying the goods from the local merchants and they are selling it to locals only. So instead of sending it to England, they are doing trade in India. So this was not actually allowed for company. Understand? They are accountable only for England. Next. Exactly. Why Governor General will have a body called Executive Council. In that Executive Council, there are 4 members. Understand? Governor General's Executive Council, total 4 members. With the approval of at least 2 members, Governor General can take any decision. 50% of the members' approval is necessary for implementing any decision. Understand? Now, English East India Company have a body established in London called Court of Directors. There is one more body called Board of Control. Pitt's India Act. Board of Control was established according to 1784 Pitt's India Act. Okay. Right, this is the story of Bengal. Now, with the conquest of Bengal, English East India Company with the conquest of Bengal have introduced many changes in the India. Understand? With the conquest of Bengal, there comes for the first time a new policy called permanent settlement, which was introduced by Cornwallis. Permanent settlement is it's a settlement between local Jamindars and English East India Company in terms of Diwani, revenue collection. With conquest of Bengal, Christian missionaries started exploiting the locals. With conquest of Bengal, British fellows started exploiting forest resources. As a result, there are tribal revolts. With conquest of Bengal, British started exploiting peasants. There starts peasant revolts, tribal revolts, evangelism, everything starts with Bengal conquest. As a result, in the Bengal only, you see the beginning of Renaissance, social religious reform movements. Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Dayanand, all these social reforms, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, everything started from Bengal. Why do you think everything started from Bengal? Because British rule started with Bengal. Then, exploitation started in Bengal and even education also started in Bengal. Understand? So why? Remember, Bengal is the main theater for everything. Understand? Exploitation, education, evangelism, Renaissance, even freedom movement. Most of the nationalists are also in Bengal. Are you able to connect dots? Story of Mysore. Mysore was actually ruled by Vadayars, the Hindu Rajas. Mysore was ruled by Hindu Rajas, Vadayars. Right from the 1610, Mysore was an independent princely state. Mysore was actually carved out from the Vijayanagara Empire, Sri Krishna Deva Raya's regime. Understand? Now this Mysore was ruled by Vijayanagara's prime ministers only, Vadayars. One day, Mysore Raja, Krishna Raja Vadayar was ruling. Okay. He is having 2 sons, Devaraj and Nanjaraj. And this Devaraj and Nanjaraj both involved in the civil war. Now in this civil war, Krishna Raja Vadayar's military governor, his name is Hyder Ali. He interfered in this civil war. And this Hyder Ali defeated these 2 brothers, Devaraj and Nanjaraj, and expelled Krishna Raja Vadayar and took over the Mysore. It went out from your head. Yeah.
He applied same principle of Britishers.
Huh?
He applied same principle of Britishers.
Exactly. Hyder Ali interrupted in the civil war, okay, interfered in the civil war, defeated them, took over Mysore. Now Mysore ka Raja Haidar. No more Wadayars. Haidar. Muslim. Hyder Ali is very, very smart. Hyder Ali maintained very good relations with French. Hyder Ali advanced army with the French. Advanced his army with the French. Hyder Ali extended the horizons of Mysore till Coimbatore. He extended the horizons of Mysore till Coimbatore, Kerala, Rayalaseema, etc., etc. Understand? Mysore borders. Mysore now is becoming one of the powerful state in the 17th century, 18th century. Understand? Hyder. So the biggest support system for Hyder is? This is the reason in Treaty of Paris, English told French that you should not involve in local politics. Understand? This is the reason that Hyder fought first Anglo-Mysore War. Huh? 1766, first Anglo-Mysore War. Coimbatore, Kerala, Rayalaseema, almost Hyder is coming to Madras, coming near to Madras. Understand? So definitely English thought this is a threat. So that's why governor of Madras, understand? And Hyder Ali fought war. Let's not get into these wars because there are so many treaties here. Okay. First Anglo-Mysore War, second Anglo-Mysore War is not important, but third one is very, very important. Who is third? Who fought this third? Yes. And third Anglo-Mysore War was fought between Tipu and Cornwallis. Tipu and Cornwallis. Because in the second Anglo-Mysore War, his father Hyder died due to cancer. Due to poor health conditions, Hyder died. Next, Mysore was taken over by his son Tipu. Now, Tipu is more dangerous than his father. Sher. Tipu is the Sher. Huh? You have to know some things about Tipu. Tipu improved education system in Mysore. Tipu started a library with 1 lakh books at the heart of the capital city of Mysore. What is the capital city of Mysore? Srirangapatnam. శ్రీరంగపట్నంలో ఒక లైబ్రరీ పెడతాడు సార్, బుక్స్ 1 lakh బుక్స్ ఉంటాయి. Srirangapatnam, Mysore. It seems that Tipu gave funds to Sringeri Mutt. Tipu minted Lakshmi Devi symbol on his coins, being a Muslim Raja. Understand? Next, any points about Tipu? Tipu planted tree of liberty at Srirangapatnam. Tipu planted tree of liberty at Srirangapatnam. This tree is a symbol for liberty, that he is giving rights to the people of his kingdom. Why? Where he is drawing his inspiration from, you know? Very good. French Revolution. Because in 1789, there was a French Revolution in France. And celebrating the success of the French Revolution, Tipu Sultan planted tree of liberty. Because that is a symbol of end of monarchism in France and beginning of republicanism. Now, so you can imagine that Tipu, how he is maintaining very good relations with French. Tipu having membership in Jacobean Party of France. There is one political party in France called Jacobean Party. Tipu Sultan is having membership there. Tipu Sultan started rocket factory, rocket technology in Mysore, arms factories, knives factories, scissors factories. All advanced equipments were manufactured by Tipu Sultan in Mysore. Arms, knives, scissors, very advanced scissors. Rocket technology is used in wars. Even watch, for the first time, watches factory was started by Tipu in Mysore. Hand watch, wrist watches. Even before this third Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu have garroted the entire Kerala. I mean the Trivandrum, Travancore. Here there is one small princely state but very very important for English fellows. Travancore is a very important princely state, very small. ఈ ట్రావెన్కోర్ ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్ రాజాస్ ఉన్నారు కదా, ఈ రాజాస్ దే ఆర్ టోటలీ డిపెండెంట్ అపాన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఈస్ట్ ఇండియా కంపెనీ ఫర్ ప్రొటెక్షన్. ఐ హోప్ యు ఆర్ క్లియర్. English East India Company have totally surrounded the Travancore and controlling the Travancore. Now what Tipu did, Tipu attacked the English East India Company and defeated the whole English army and surrounded the Travancore with Tipu's army. Understand? With this English East India Company army, they are not in a position even to get food also. The entire water supply, food supply for company army in Travancore is blocked by Tipu. That's why, sir, in Cornwallis from Bengal, he was very much alert. Now his target is Tipu. This fellow must be killed because he is turning a threat. Not only in this way, Tipu also have developed Mangalore port. Tipu established good relations with Afghan Raja Jaman Shah. Tipu established good relations with Napoleon. What is this way? All the international superstars are there with Tipu. Understand? This is the reason for third Anglo-Mysore War. Now in this third Anglo-Mysore War, even Cornwallis know very well that he is very difficult to defeat Tipu. That's why Cornwallis took support of Hyderabad Nizams and also Cornwallis took support of Maratha Peshwas. Triple alliance between Cornwallis, Marathas, Hyderabad versus Tipu. Huh? Tipu got defeated. Why these two powers do you think supported Cornwallis, Hyderabad and Peshwa? Because who? No, Hyderabad is
Company was already controlling both the kingdoms. Subsidiary alliance was also given to Marathas.
subsidiary alliance 1798. We are still in 1792. Third Anglo-Mysore War 1792. Generally, Hyderabad is actually a natural partner of British. Hyderabad is very loyal to British.
Achha, Tipu or Mughals, even Marathas are against.
Because Tipu Sultan enemies, Marathas and Hyderabad. Understand? మరాఠాలకు టిప్పుకి ఎప్పుడు పడదు సార్. టిప్పు సుల్తాన్ మరాఠాలపై ఇప్పటికే 2 times వార్ డిక్లేర్ చేసినాడు. ఈ హైదరాబాద్ ఎప్పుడు ఈపు పగులుతూనే ఉంటుంది. అర్థమైందా? టిప్పు చేతిలో హైదరాబాద్ ఈజ్ అవుట్. Hyderabad always was defeated by all other kingdoms. You know the worst princely state in India is Hyderabad only because very weak Raja. Sir, Hyderabad princely state 1857 Sepoy revolt వచ్చేంత వరకు వర్స్టే. 1857 Sepoy revolt తర్వాత రైజ్ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్ చూస్తారు మీరు. ఎందుకంటే అది దట్టు బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద సపోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ బ్రిటిష్ ఓన్లీ. గ్రూప్ 1 రాసారా? You did not give the group 1 exam? So, this is the story. So, Hyderabad and Maratha Peshwas joined Cornwallis. So, now you will understand the nature of the Indian politics. Understand? We are supporting Britisher to defeat a neighbor. Understand? So, now Marathas were offered by Cornwallis the upper portion of the Mysore. Hyderabad was given an offer that eastern portion of Mysore tomorrow if Tipu was defeated. And finally Tipu was defeated. Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Treaty of Srirangapatnam 1792 was signed between Tipu Sultan and 3 parties. Yeah. According to Treaty of Srirangapatnam, Tipu Sultan have to pay 1.5 crore rupees. Ante, I am telling in rupees that 3.3 is in some other currency. Actually, mohars antam. Gold ఇవ్వాలి, డబ్బు కాదు. టిప్పు సుల్తాన్ కంపెన్సేషన్ లాగా ఇవ్వాల్సింది గోల్డ్ మొహర్స్ అంటాం, అది ఇవ్వాలి. బట్ టిప్పు సుల్తాన్ నెవర్ పేడ్ ఎనీథింగ్. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్? ఓకే, 4th మైసూర్ అయింది, దానికి ముందు
sons ని పట్టుకుంటారు.
నుజుముద్దీన్ అండ్ ముహిజుద్దీన్ అని చెప్పి ఇద్దరు చిన్న పిల్లలు ఉంటారు టిప్పు. ఆ ఇద్దరు పిల్లల్ని కార్న్వాలిస్ ఏం చేశాడంటే ఫోర్ట్ విలియంకి తీసుకొని పోయినాడు. ఇన్ ఫోర్ట్ విలియం దీస్ టూ కిడ్స్ ఆర్ ప్లేయింగ్ విత్ ద కార్న్వాలిస్ కిడ్స్. అండర్స్టాండ్? దే వర్ టేకెన్ యాజ్ హాస్టేజెస్. Until Tipu pays money, these hostages will be in Fort William. Understand? Their Cornwallis even gave gold watch as gift to these two kids. He treated them very well. He respected them because after all they are sons of Raja. Understand? Royal treatment untadi. But Tipu took it in a negative way. He felt that he was humiliated, and Tipu trying to maintain contact with even Napoleon. Even Afghan Raja Jaman Shah. Even Tipu had very good relations with Turkey, Constantinople Raja kuda. Understanding? And now in 1798, Lord Wellesley, new Governor General, introduced subsidiary alliance. As soon as subsidiary alliance was brought into picture, the very first document was sent to Tipu only to sign. And Tipu denied. Which led to 4th Anglo-Mysore War, 1799, 4th Anglo-Mysore War. Subsidiary alliance 1798, 4th Anglo-Mysore War 1799, because Tipu rejected. Tipu was killed in this battle. (1798) subsidiary alliance, 1799 4th Anglo-Mysore War. Tipu was killed in 4th Anglo-Mysore War. Then Mysore was conquered by British. Now Mysore was given back to Wadayars to rule and made them to sign subsidiary alliance. In this way, Mysore was in the control of company only. Okay, na? Then after Mysore, you see the story of Marathas. Now their target is Marathas. This is like company doing Ashwamedha Yagam on India, one after one, not even one after one, simultaneously only they are going. So this is all about your 18th century politics. That's why there was once a main question. 18th century politics is a fragmented polity. Fragmented. The whole India is divided to pieces, small, big kingdoms, and other side English. Now the story of Marathas, see, the downfall of Marathas after which battle? Downfall of Marathas.
After they lost to Mughals.
Third battle of Panipat. Marathas were lost to Afghans. Understand? Ahmed Shah Abdali defeated these Maratha soldiers. 20,000 Maratha soldiers were brutally killed by Abdali, and Abdali looted. They sacked, he plundered Delhi and left India. Now Mughals are more and more weak. Marathas also became weak. Still Marathas are actually not weak. Understand? Because they are still ready to fight with English. 4 Anglo-Maratha wars were fought. Sorry, 3 Anglo-Maratha wars. Okay. And in these 3 Anglo-Maratha wars, multiple times Marathas were defeated. Most of the territories were exchanged with the British. In these 3 Anglo-Maratha, third one is only important. First and second is not important. First Anglo-Maratha 1775 to 1782. Second Anglo-Maratha 1803. Third Anglo-Maratha War 1818. That is very important. Third one. Here, this war was fought between Governor General Lord Hastings. This war was fought between Governor General Lord Hastings and Maratha Peshwa. Who is Peshwa? Bajirao II. He is the last Peshwa, Bajirao II. This was fought between Hastings, not Warren, he is Lord Hastings. Now in this war, Maratha Peshwa's Bajirao II was supported by Pindaris. Pindaris are Dacoits. Pindaris are dacoits. This is the war. The result of this war, Pindaris were killed, massacred. Pindaris were brutally massacred by British. This is the end of the chapter of Pindaris. Who are these? What are the origins of these Pindaris? They are actually extending their support right from Chhatrapati Shivaji times.
He was always supporting Marathas.
Yeah, they are very good natural friends of Shivaji. Pindaris always help Marathas in looting. They are not soldiers, they are dacoits. Only during the wars they come to help. Highway robbers. Annalu. Thugs. Yes. And why do you think British wanted Maharashtra, Because not political reasons, they have commercial reason. Maharashtra comes under Deccan Plateau, black soil. Black soil is very good for cotton. And in 1818 only, why do they wanted to, in an urgency, they wanted to conquer Maharashtra? Very good. Because of industrial revolution, textile industries, cotton cultivation, Maharashtra is very suitable for that. ఇది ఎక్కడ ఎకనామికల్ రీజన్ వస్తుందో అక్కడ వాళ్ళు అర్జెన్సీలో వెళ్ళిపోతారు. ఎందుకంటే ఇండస్ట్రియల్ రెవల్యూషన్ చాలా స్పీడప్ చేసింది. అండ్ the next another kingdom which was conquered is Punjab. Understand? Punjab was actually ruled by Sikhs. Which Sikh? Who is that powerful Sikh Raja? Ranjit Bhai. Ranjit Singh. Understand? Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Maharaja is a high sounding title given to the Punjab Rajas. Understand? Even before Maharaja Ranjit Singh, there were the entire Punjab was divided into mizils. MISLS. Mizils antam. Okay? Mizil and a state. Small mizils were there. For every mizil, there is a head called mizildar. Ranjit Singh belongs to a particular mizil called Sukerchakia. Understand? SUKERCHEKIA. Sukerchakia mizil. Ranjit Singh united all the mizils and became Maharaja. Clear? What do you know about Ranjit Singh? రంజిత్కి ఒకటే కన్ను కనబడుతుంది సార్. వాడికి హెల్త్ బాగుండదు. హీఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ 8 wives. హెల్త్ బాగుండదు కానీ 8 wives ఏం సార్ అని అడగకు. ఓకే. రంజిత్ రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ హిస్ చైల్డ్హుడ్ హీ ఈస్ ఫేసింగ్ స్మాల్ పాక్స్ ఎప్పుడు స్కిన్ డిసీజెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. హీ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్ a very good healthy person, but Ranjit is a great warrior. Understand? This is the reason English maintained very good relations with Ranjit. There was always English is very loyal to Ranjit. ఏ రాజా పవర్ఫుల్ అయితే వాడితో లాయల్ ఉంటారు సార్. వాడికి అవసరం అంతేనా? టిప్పు లాయల్గా లేడు కాబట్టి సమస్య వచ్చింది. సిరాజుద్దౌలా లాయల్గా లేడు కాబట్టి ప్లాసీ అయింది. రంజిత్ తోటి ఎందుకు ప్రాబ్లం లేదు? ఎందుకంటే రంజిత్ ఎవరికి క్లోజ్ తెలుసా? ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ రాజా జమన్ షాకి క్లోజ్. పంజాబ్ బార్డర్ ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ పవర్ఫుల్ ఎట్ దట్ టైం. జమన్ షాకి గవర్నర్ గా చేశాడు ఈ రంజిత్. అండర్స్టాండ్? ఆ తర్వాత అందులో నుంచి కార్వ్ అవుట్ అయిపోయింది పంజాబ్. సో ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళను టచ్ కూడా చేయడానికి ధైర్యం చేయదు ఇంగ్లీష్. అందుకే ఒక ట్రీటీ చేసుకుంది ఇంగ్లీష్ అండ్ రంజిత్. English East India and Company and Ranjit in 1809 they signed Treaty of Amritsar. English East India Company Governor Lord Minto and Ranjit both signed Treaty of Amritsar. According to the Treaty of Amritsar, Sutlej River will be the boundary between Company and Punjab. Sutlej River's right bank tributaries, right bank area belongs to Company, left bank areas belongs to Ranjit. So let us not interfere in each other's areas. Sutlej river ki oka side Company, inko side Sikhs. ఇట్లా పీస్ ట్రీటీ చేసుకున్నారు ఇద్దరు. రైట్ సైడ్ కంపెనీ, లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ సిక్ రాజా టెరిటరీస్. నథింగ్, ఇట్ వాజ్ ఎ ఫ్రెండ్లీ ట్రీటీ, ఇట్ వాజ్ ఎ ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ ట్రీటీ. ఇదేంటి రికగ్నైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఇది మాది ఇది మీది అంతే. సో ఇన్ దిస్ వే హీ ఈస్ మెయింటైనింగ్ గుడ్ రిలేషన్స్ విత్ దెమ్. Now problem starts after Ranjit's death. I told you Ranjit had 8 wives. In these 8 wives, 8th wife, she is the youngest wife. And this fellow is an old man. Understand? His wife is the youngest. Her name is something is there by. Rani Jindan. Rani Jindan, 8th wife. During the death of Ranjit, they already gave birth to a son. She is having a 5-year-old son. His name is Dulip Singh. Understand? Dulip Singh. Now next, who is Maharaja? Who is Maharaja? Dulip Singh. But other sons will not accept. He is having already 8 wives, I told you. Understand? There was a war of succession going on. ఇది మన మహారాజాలతో ఉన్న ప్రాబ్లం. ఇది పెద్ద టీమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ. అర్థమైందా? Now who is going to become the next Maharaja? This is the biggest problem. Now English started interfering. Understand? Because English is getting confused. అరే ఇంతమంది ఉన్నారా బాబు, ఎవరు మహారాజా? మేము ఎందుకంటే మేము ఆల్రెడీ వాడితో సైన్ చేసుకున్నాం మేము. అర్థమైందా? నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరితోటి మాకు ట్రీటీ. నౌ జిందన్ సేస్ మై సన్ 5-year-old boy Dulip will be the next Maharaja. This is not accepted by English. అందుకే సార్ ఈ ఇండియాలో ఉన్న మహారాజాలు అందరూ ఇట్లా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు హెయిర్, నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు సక్సెసర్ అనేది క్లారిటీ లేదు. అందుకే డాక్ట్రిన్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాబ్స్ తీసుకొచ్చాడు ఎవరు? డలౌజీ. డలౌజీ ఎందుకు తీసుకొచ్చాడు డాక్ట్రిన్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాబ్స్? లీగల్ హెయిర్ అంటూ ఒకడు ఉంటాడు. ఇవన్నీ రాజాలకు ఎక్స్ట్రా మ్యారిటల్ అఫైర్లు ఇవన్నీ. అర్థమైందా? ఇల్లెజిటిమేట్ అఫైర్స్ ఇవన్నీ. అఫీషియల్గా ఒక్కరినే కదా సార్ చేసుకునేది అట్లా. సో హియర్ స్టార్ట్స్ ఫస్ట్ ఆంగ్లో-సిక్ వార్. Understand? 1848, first Anglo-Sikh War. First Anglo-Sikh War, Rani Jindan was defeated. అంతే. మరాఠా ఫస్ట్, సెకండ్ ఆంగ్లో మరాఠా అంతే అంతే చాలు. ఉంటాయి, ట్రీటీ ఆఫ్ సాల్సెటే ఉంటాయి, ట్రీటీ ఆఫ్ బసేన్ ఉంది, చాలా ఉన్నాయి. అదే నేను చెప్తున్నా, సెకండ్ చాప్టర్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఇంపీరియలిజంలో ఈ మైసూర్ ట్రీటీస్, మరాఠా ట్రీటీస్, సిక్ ట్రీటీస్, డోంట్ గో త్రూ దట్. హిస్టరీ ఆఫ్ యూపీఎస్సీలో ఎప్పుడు ట్రీటీలో ఏ పాయింట్ అనేది అడగలేదు. అది ఓకే. కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్, రీజన్స్ తెలుసుకోండి, కానీ ట్రీటీస్లో ఏం సైన్ చేసుకున్నారో వద్దు. అందుకే ఓన్లీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ట్రీటీస్ చెప్తున్నా. ఏంది? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ట్రీటీ ఆఫ్ ప్యారిస్, ట్రీటీ ఆఫ్ అలహాబాద్, దీస్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ ఇస్, ఏం చెప్తున్నా, ఫస్ట్ ఆంగ్లో-సిక్ వార్, Rani Jindan was defeated. After defeating Rani Jindan, half of the Punjab was taken over. Okay, 50% of the territories were taken over by company, and there in those provinces, Chief Commissioner of Punjab was appointed, John Lawrence. Now this John Lawrence is in charge of that Punjab. Why they are targeting Punjab now? Because very very fertile areas Punjab, wheat cultivation ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి వాళ్ళకి. ఓకే, అది వచ్చింది. Then again, second Anglo-Sikh War was fought. Again, Rani Jindan was defeated. Okay, now this John Lawrence became head of Punjab. Previously, he was chief commissioner. Now he is the head of Punjab. Governor అయిపోతాడు Lawrence. Okay, ఇట్లా సిక్ ట్రీటీస్ తోటి పంజాబ్ వాజ్ క్లోజ్డ్. ఇక్కడ ఇంకొక పాయింట్ వస్తుంది ఇదే ట్రీటీస్లో. రాణి జిందన్ హ్యావ్ టు పే కంపెన్సేషన్ టు కంపెనీ. 1.5 crores ఇవ్వాలి. She paid only 75 lakhs. Instead of giving other 75 lakhs, she gave Kashmir. She gave Kashmir to British. What British did to Kashmir, British have sold away Kashmir to Raja Gulab Singh. Raja Gulab Singh అని ఒకతడికి కశ్మీర్ ఇచ్చేసారు, అమ్మేసినారు. అట్లా గులాబ్ సింగ్ ఫ్యామిలీ స్టార్టెడ్ రూలింగ్ కశ్మీర్. సో కశ్మీర్ బికేమ్ ఎన్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్. This Kashmir continued to maintain its rule till 1948. Raja Hari Singh, హరి సింగ్ ఎవరో కాదు, గులాబ్ సింగ్ ఫ్యామిలీ వీళ్ళంతా. ఓకే, దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్ టు రాణి జిందన్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద కాన్క్వెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ పంజాబ్? వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్ టు ద 5-year-old సన్ దులీప్ సింగ్? వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్ టు దిస్ మదర్ అండ్ సన్? చదివారా? Mother and son's relation was separated. This mother Mother Rani Jindan was sent to Benares to settle in her relative's house. Small boy Dulip Singh was sent away to London for higher education. Understand? So company will bear all the expenses for the higher education of this boy. This boy will settle in London in the house of Queen. అక్కడ ఉంటాడు వీడు. రెస్పెక్ట్ కదా సార్, రాయల్ ఫ్యామిలీ రంజిత్ సింగ్ కొడుకు వీడు. రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇవ్వాల అంటే కంపెనీ ఎట్లుంటుంది అంటే రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇస్తుంది, తర్వాత ఎక్స్ప్లాయిటేషన్ కూడా చేస్తారు. అట్లా అర్థమైందా? సో ఇన్ దిస్ వే why this boy was have to be sent to London by company, because if that boy will settle in India, then people will have a lot of emotions towards Raja. So there may be a people's revolt kada. People can revolt. So అందుకే ప్రజలు మహారాజా ఫ్యామిలీని మర్చిపోవాలి. అందుకే ఇండియాను వదిలేసి పంపించేస్తారు. దీంతో పంజాబ్ చాప్టర్ క్లోజ్. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ పంజాబ్ తర్వాత బ్రిటిష్ టార్గెట్ ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్. అండర్స్టాండ్? Afghanistan. With Afghanistan also, there were some wars, 3 Anglo-Afghan wars. But those wars are not important. There was one policy called forward policy which was introduced by Lord Auckland. Lord Auckland introduced forward policy. Governor, he is Governor General, Lord Auckland in 1838. Forward policy. According to forward policy, English East India Company shall interfere in the internal affairs of Afghanistan. This is forward policy. Okay na? Policy of masterly inactivity by Lord John Lawrence. Policy of masterly inactivity by John Lawrence. Next, policy of proud reserve by Lord Lytton. Remember these 3 policies when it comes to Anglo-Afghan relations. I'll explain. Afghanistan is called as the empire of graveyards. Anyone who tries to conquer Afghanistan will be buried there. It is almost impossible for anyone to defeat Afghans because they're all tribes. They have geographical advantage. Terrain, rough terrain is there. And English brought some policies. First policy, forward, means they wanted to interfere in the internal affairs. That actually failed. That led to first Anglo-Afghan war. తర్వాత లారెన్స్ వస్తాడు. లారెన్స్ వచ్చి ఏం తెచ్చాడు? పాలసీ ఆఫ్ మాస్టర్లీ ఇన్యాక్టివిటీ మీన్స్ నౌ ఆల్రెడీ ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ఘన్ వార్ డన్. బ్రిటిష్ ఫేస్డ్ సివియర్ డిఫీట్. అండర్స్టాండ్? నౌ విత్ దిస్ జాన్ లారెన్స్ స్టార్టెడ్ ఏ పాలసీ నాట్ టు ఇంటర్ఫియర్ ఇన్ ఆఫ్ఘన్స్ అఫైర్స్. అండర్స్టాండ్? ఇన్యాక్టివ్. British will be inactive in Afghanistan. Next, Lytton gave policy of proud reserve. Proud reserve means to maintain scientific frontiers between India and Afghanistan. Scientific frontiers. This is India, this is Afghan. Now we have to be very, very clear of these borders. These border areas shall be controlled by English. This is a policy of Lytton. This led to next Afghan war. British వాళ్ళకి ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్కి వార్ అయింది దీనివల్ల. Lytton was the Governor General of India just for 4 years. Why? Just for 4 years. In that 4 years, you see Anglo-Afghanistan war. And British always suffered huge loss in the hands of Afghanistanis. So remember these 3 policies. So these are all the kingdoms which British targeting. I am asking you a question now. Among all the princely states which British have conquered, which princely state's conquest is unjustified, unaccepted, illegitimate, illegal, whatever? Chaptara? Bihar is part of Bengal only. Sindh. There is one princely state called Sindh, which comes in today Pakistan. Sindh was ruled by Muslim Raja Muhammad, Sher Muhammad. Huh? Mismanagement Awadh. This is different reason. Understand? Unjustified, unaccepted. ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది సార్ సింధ్. Sindh already signed subsidiary alliance. Understand? Sindh was already part of subsidiary alliance. Now, when any princely state accepted subsidiary alliance, what does it mean? They have to depend upon British only protection. Are bhai, the British have to protect Sindh. Instead of that, British conquered Sindh. It is not fair, kada? It is your responsibility to protect that state. But instead, they have captured Sindh. They have killed Sindh ka Raja Sher Muhammad and Sindh was annexed. Why? This is why we call Rakshak became Bakshak. Rakshak became Bakshak. Rakshak means protector. Bakshak, destroyer. The one who is responsibility is to protect, he only destroyed the Sindh. Why? Why?
Because to go towards Afghan.
Because?
To go towards Afghan. It's easy to.
No, I'll tell you. Listen. Russia is emerging superpower in 1840s. Russia target next India. India means British. Russia's target is British. Okay? So Russia, in order to conquer British, they have to come through Afghanistan. First, next, their target will be Afghanistan, Russia. Exactly. Russia wanted to make Afghanistan a buffer state. So, after creating this buffer state, then next they're gonna conquer Sindh, Russia. So, through Sindh, they're gonna conquer India. Because Sindh is always considered as a gateway to India. Understand? So, British was scared of Russia. So, that's why even before Russia conquering Sindh, they only conquered Sindh. కమర్షియల్ బెనిఫిట్స్ కూడా అక్కడ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, ఎందుకంటే ఆల్రెడీ సబ్సిడరీ లైన్స్ ఉన్నది కదా. అడిగితే ఎందుకు ఇస్తాడు? షేర్ మొహమ్మద్ ఇస్ రాజా కదా. షేర్ మొహమ్మద్ సైన్డ్ సబ్సిడరీ లైన్స్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ప్రొటెక్షన్. వై వుడ్ హీ గివ్ కింగ్డమ్? Resident is Charles Napier. Yeah, Charles Napier declared war. Sher Muhammad was easily out. He was killed. Sindh was conquered. సో ఇక్కడ బలైంది ఎవరు? సింధ్ రాజా షేర్ మొహమ్మద్. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే సింధ్ హైజ్ హ్యావింగ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ కమర్షియల్ బెనిఫిట్స్. సింధ్ మీన్స్ వాట్ బై ఇందస్ రివర్, వెరీ ఫర్టైల్ ఏరియా. Russia in 1841, I think in world history we have this chapter. Russia defeated British in 1853 Crimean War. Understand? England was brutally defeated. Now Russia is also emerging industrial nation. Industrialized revolution was there in Russia. So Russia also started its imperialism. Same like English. So these fellows are very scared. Even Russia, how dangerous is Russia, you know. In 1809, Russia made an alliance with Napoleon also to defeat these British fellows. Understand? So because of that fear, British conquered Sindh. But Sindh conquest is unjustified because Sindh is a very good partner of British. Sindh signed subsidiary alliance already. Sindh is dependent totally on English. So unjustified and unaccepted conquest is this. So if you get a question, which is the last princely state conquered by British, means Awadh. Because Awadh ka Raja misgoverned. He misgoverned Awadh. అని చెప్పి ఆ రీజన్ తోటి లాస్ట్ ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్ ఏంటిది? ఇయర్, ఎనీ వన్ ఇయర్, ఇన్ విచ్ ఇయర్ అవధ్ వాస్ కాన్క్వర్డ్ బై బ్రిటిష్? Just 1 year before Sipai Revolt. 1856. Awadh ka Raja Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. He was defeated. He was removed from the throne and Awadh was conquered. Wajid Bhai. The reason cited by British for Awadh's conquest is Awadh ka Raja is corrupt. He misgoverned. People are expecting better rule, company rule. Even Nawab also did not understand when people expected. Understand? Because he is a very good Raja. Then, after just a few months, Nawab Wajid Ali Shah died with heart attack. Then after that, his queen, Hajrat Mahal, became widow. This is one of the important reasons for Sipai Revolt. Understand? Awadh's conquest is reason for Sipai Revolt. Doctrine of lapse is reason for Sipai Revolt. Any reasons Sipai Revolt ki. అర్థమవుతుందా సార్? అందుకే సిపాయి రివోల్ట్ లో హజరత్ మహల్ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకు? షీ లాస్ట్ హర్ కింగ్డమ్. అవధ్. This is English imperialism. Slowly, one by one, almost all the principles. Now, one more thing I want to tell you. Even though British have conquered multiple princely states, still British was able to rule only 1/4 part of India. Understand? Rest of the 3/4 part of India is still in the hands of princely states only. And this 3/4 geographical part of India is ruled by princely states only even up to 1947. Understand? అంతే కదా సార్? 1947లో మనకు ఇండిపెండెన్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు 563 ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్స్ ఇండిపెండెంట్. అరే 563 ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్స్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు అదే 3/4 పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. మరి బ్రిటిష్ రూల్ చేసింది ఏంది? 1/4. ఆ 1/4లో ఏముంది? బాంబే, మద్రాస్, బెంగాల్, పంజాబ్, ఓకే, సింధ్, గుజరాత్, యూపీ, మధ్యప్రదేశ్, ఢిల్లీ, ఇవే. మిగతా పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా మొత్తం ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్సే. And after 1857 Sipai Revolt, British decided not to conquer any princely state. Why? After 1857 Sipai Revolt, British maintained very good relations with the princely states because princely states supported British and suppressed the 1857 Sipai Revolt. Antena? No unity. All the princely state rajas joined hands with the British and suppressed the people's rebellion. With this, British have decided one thing: no more annexations. That's why I asked you a question: which is the last kingdom to be annexed? Ante Awadh. 1856. 1857 తర్వాత ఇక annexations ఉండవు. Reason Sipai Revolt వాళ్ళు help చేశారు. Right. Now next policies. I told you 3 policies. Which is the first policy? Starting లో చెప్పాను. Policy of ring fence. Policy of ring fence. Who started policy of ring fence? Policy of ring fence from 1774 to 1798. Lord Warren Hastings. It is a policy introduced by Warren Hastings. Tell me, anybody, what do you mean by policy of ring fence?
Ring fence means you protect boundaries of princely states, the garrison, so to speak.
Protect the boundaries of
The princely states, garrison.
which princely states? Borders.
Yeah.
Listen everyone, according to policy of ring fence, English East India Company will create a ring of states, and this ring of states will act like fence to English East India Company. Fence in the sense nothing but English East India Company gonna create buffer zones everywhere. These buffer zones will be created to protect themselves from their enemy. Understand? Any example? Which is the buffer state created by British to protect themselves from their enemy? Sindh buffer state కాదు. Sindh was conquered కదా. Sindh is not a buffer zone. Buffer zone and buffer zones are independent only. I will tell you. Which is the first state conquered by English? Now Bengal is part of English East India Company territory. Okay? Bengal, English East India Company created a buffer zone Awadh. English East India Company created a buffer zone Rohilkhand. Okay? You know why? Because English in Bengal having threat from Afghans. Okay? Afghan is the biggest rival for company. This happened after 1761 Battle of Panipat. I told you already Afghans defeated Marathas. Okay? ఇది ఎప్పుడు నేను చెప్పేది 1761 స్టోరీ వినండి అందరూ. Afghans and Marathas are the two super powers in 1760s. Afghans and Marathas defeated each other, fought with each other, and they came up to almost Delhi. Why they invaded Delhi also? Afghans almost came up to Delhi. Now next step is UP. They're gonna capture UP. If they come to UP, they're gonna capture Bengal. So that's why company felt that Afghans are threat. So to protect themselves from Afghans, they have they have created Awadh as buffer zone. Now this Awadh buffer zone will be protected by English. అర్థమైందా సార్? Awadh will be protected by English. అది సేమ్ అట్లానే English is having threat from Marathas. So to protect English Bengal from the Marathas, they have created Awadh princely state, Awadh buffer zone. So who are the enemies for English? Afghans and Marathas. To protect Bengal from Afghans and Marathas, they are creating a ring around Bengal. Now all these buffer zones will be protected by English. They will take money from them also for giving them protection. Understand? ఇక్కడ నుంచి పుట్టిన ఐడియానే సబ్సిడరీ అలయన్స్. నెక్స్ట్ ఈ బఫర్ జోన్సే సబ్సిడరీ అలయన్స్ పైన సైన్ చేస్తారు. అర్థమైందా సార్? English East India Company conquered first state Bengal. For Bengal, there is one more threat from South India, Mysore. Tipu Sultan is a big threat to Bengal. Now, Bengal, to protect its identity from the Mysore, they have created a buffer zone, Hyderabad. Now, this Hyderabad will be protected by English. This is called policy of ring fence. In South India, Hyderabad is a buffer zone. In North, Awadh is a buffer zone. And Awadh was initially buffer zone. But later what happened to the same Awadh? Awadh was conquered in 1856. So buffer zones laga initial ga friendly ga untaru. ఆ తర్వాత ఆ buffer zone నే కాన్క్వర్ చేస్తారు. అర్థమైందా? Now these buffer zones will be bringing with the guidance, with the policy of subsidiary alliance. Wellesley, 1798, Lord Wellesley, subsidiary alliance. Tell me what is the important provision in the subsidiary alliance? In the subsidiary alliance, princely states will totally lose independence. They do not have army. They do not have any external relations. They does not have any defense. They does not have any external relations with any other rajas without the permission of the British. And to look after all these, or to manage all these affairs, they appointed an officer. Who is the officer? Who is the officer appointed in the capital city of the princely state? Resident. Resident is a British officer who will be appointed in the princely state to manage these affairs. Ardhamainda? Resident. Then next, if any princely states and princely states, for depending upon the protection from English East India Company, have to pay subsidy. Okay, they are seeking protection, instead they have to pay subsidy for that. So what if they fail to pay subsidy? They will not capture. Equally, they will take the lands. If they don't give money, they will take lands. Understand? And only few territories will be taken. Wherever you see fertile areas, they will be taken away. Understand? Hyderabad is the first princely state to sign on subsidiary alliance. Okay, As soon as Hyderabad princely state accepted subsidiary alliance, they fell into debts because they are not in a position to maintain the army of English. Hyderabad started taking many debts. Hyderabad is not in a position to pay subsidy. That's why English have taken over, ceded from Hyderabad. CEDED. Ceded means Rayalaseema. Kadapa, Karnool, Anantapur, Chittur, Ballari, all these regions comes under ceded. 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 So they are called as ceded because they were ceded out from Hyderabad and given to company. Clear? రాయలసీమ ఇప్పుడు సీడెడ్ అని అంటారు. స్టార్టింగ్లో మొత్తం సీడెడే. 1928లో ఒక పెద్ద మనిషి అన్నాడు దాన్ని రాయలసీమ అని. అట్లా రాయలసీమనే కొత్త పేరు, పాత పేరే సీడెడ్. అర్థమైందా? సో ఇన్ దిస్ వే ఎనీ ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్ ఇఫ్ దే ఫెయిల్ టు పే సబ్సిడీ దే గోనా లూజ్ ఫర్టైల్ ఏరియాస్. And policy of subsidiary alliance is also called as, in technical terms, policy of subordinate isolation. Subsidiary alliance is called as policy of subordinate isolation. (2000) 2018 or 19 UPSC Prelims question. I have given that attempt. I still remember that question. Question is on subsidiary alliance. Why do you think British wanted to bring this princely state? He gave 4 reasons. Tell me, why British brought this subsidiary alliance? You are learning what is subsidiary alliance, but I am asking you why British wanted to do this. To put control over princely states. Any other answer? For expansion, of course. Already buffer zones were there, they were now brought under their control. Huh? Another barriers means? Very good. Actually, this was one of the option there. This was brought in 1798, subsidiary alliance. At the same point of time, Tipu was trying to make contact with Napoleon. It is due to the fear of Napoleon. Ardhamainda? These guys brought subsidiary alliance. Ekkada Napoleon Indiaku vastado, ee princely states తో ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాడు అని వీళ్ళు భయపడి కంట్రోల్లో పెట్టుకున్నారు. అర్థమైందా? Because of the Napoleonic fear, British wanted to cut off the relations between all the princely states by bringing subsidiary alliance. అందుకే టెక్నికల్ నేమ్ చూడండి సార్, subordinate isolation. What do you mean? You are isolating all princely states from one another. Understand? So if you are isolating means cutting off the relation. Now British is safe. This is to establish the British paramountcy on India. Subsidiary alliance. Now after subsidiary alliance, now doctrine of lapse. 1848. Dalhousie. 1848, doctrine of lapse, brought by Dalhousie. Actually, even before Dalhousie, doctrine of lapse was there in India. Chaptara? You know Aurangzeb, Mughal emperor. Aurangzeb only actually introduced the doctrine of lapse in Rajputs. But అప్పుడు నేమ్ డాక్టర్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాబ్స్ లేదు, ఆ పాలసీ మీనింగ్ చెప్తున్నా. అప్పుడు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ అయింది. సేమ్ పాలసీ వాజ్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్డ్ బై ఔరంగజేబ్ ఆన్ రాజ్పుట్స్. సేమ్ ఔరంగజేబ్స్ పాలసీ నౌ టేకెన్ ఫార్వర్డ్ బై బ్రిటిష్ అండ్ రిగరస్లీ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్ బై డల్హౌసీ. వాట్ ఈస్ డాక్టర్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాబ్స్? In the absence of legal heir, in the absence of natural heir, then adopted sons wouldn't get kingdom and the kingdom should be lapsed into the British Empire. Ijara? No, Ijara is different.
Somewhat like 5 letters only, doctrine of lapse similar to that policy you mentioned.
Okay. తెలియదు. ఇజారా అనేది యాక్చువల్గా రెవెన్యూ, అది రెవెన్యూ, ఇది కంప్లీట్ డిఫరెంట్ కదా, ఇట్స్ నాట్ రెవెన్యూ. So in the absence of natural heir, kingdom would be lapsed into the British Empire. Antena? Illegitimate heirs wouldn't get the kingdom, and illegitimate heirs wouldn't even get the pension also. Company have a policy of giving pensions to the heirs. In that also natural heirs only would get pension. Adi. Adopted sons are not allowed to rule the kingdom. That's all. No, adopted sons are not allowed to rule. Not allowed to rule. Kingdom should be lapsed. Ante. Example, Jhansi. Jhansi is a kingdom near Bundelkhand, Uttar Pradesh. Jhansi ki Rani, Lakshmi Bai. Lakshmi Bai husband Gangadhar. This couple doesn't have the children. They adopted a son, Damodar. They adopted a son. Now immediately doctrine of lapse came to Lakshmi Bai's house. Chitti. Came the chitti. Understand? This is one of the important reason for Sepoy revolt. For Sepoy revolt, reason is not only Sepoys. It is a culmination of multiple factors. Understand? So doctrine of lapse was seen by Indians as something which British is interfering in our internal affairs. Antena? Adoption is actually, there is a policy. Why? In India, since right from the ancient times, our Indian Rajas have the habit of adopting sons. Because son is very important in India. Okay? Because you have to give the kingdom. Patriarchal. So, British interfered in this. Right, these three. Now, 1856, Awadh was occupied. Awadh not related to doctrine of lapse. Awadh having a totally different reason. 1857 Sepoy revolt. In Sepoy revolt, these princely state Rajas are there. They have given help to the British. Example, Hyderabad only. Hyderabad Nizam ka Raja, Afzal-ud-Dawla, he supported the British and suppressed the People's Rebellion. Now, after 1857 Sepoy revolt, there was Queen's proclamation. Queen Victoria gave declaration or proclamation. As part of that proclamation, she promised to the Indians that no more princely states in India will be annexed. Understand? And British is going to maintain good relations with everyone. Okay? As a result, Chamber of Princes was created in 1900s. Chamber of Princes lo Indian princely state Rajas andaru untaru. Veelandarki Commonwealth of Nations annitto manchi relations untayi. Queen will have good relations. Understand? So 1857 Sepoy revolt tarvata vachedi entante policy of subordinate union. Now all the princely states will be treated as one entity and maintain good relations with English. That is called as subordinate union. Ardhamainda? What did I tell you? Policy of ring fence, policy of subordinate isolation, doctrine of lapse. After doctrine of lapse, 57 Sepoy revolt. After Sepoy revolt, subordinate union. ఇదే మీకు స్పెక్ట్రంలో ఉంటుంది ఇదంతా. ఓకేనా? That's all. Policies. Wars, policies. This is what British imperialism. Okay? So tomorrow we will discuss colonialism. Tomorrow we will discuss 1857 Sepoy revolt, British colonialism, British colonial economical policies, colonial education policy, colonial civil services, okay, colonial judiciary, Sepoy revolt, peasant revolt, tribal revolt, caste revolt, anti-caste revolt, trade union movements, then socio-religious reform movements, then freedom movement. 3 days, sir, my class. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also it will come same time, 2 to 5. You have any doubts? Are you all understanding my class? Fine? Right. Yeah? Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Just understand. British కాకుండా ఫ్రెంచ్ కానీ రష్యా కానీ ఇంకెవరైనా ఇండియన్ రూల్ చేస్తుంటే ఏమైనా బెటర్గా ఉంటుంది?
చాలా వర్స్ట్గా ఉండేది. ఏది రూల్ చేసినా వర్స్టే. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎవ్వరికీ డెమోక్రసీ తెలియదు. ఇద్దరికీ తెలియదు. ఫ్రెంచ్ అయితే టోటల్లీ మొనార్కికల్ నేషన్. ఈవెన్ ఫ్రాన్స్ పీపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రాన్స్ ఆల్సో వుడెంట్ యాక్సెప్ట్ ద ఫ్రెంచ్ రూల్. Right from the beginning, British is giving us democracy. Even though they exploited us, at least the administrative principles are benefiting Indians.
No, monarchy and
Ah,
but people were prosperous. So maybe if French or Russia would have ruled India,
Ah.
monarchy and dictatorship came to India,
Hmm.
maybe people would have prospered.
No, actually, in France and Russia, people were not prosperous. అందుకే
Time already.
at that time.
Now,
Now means in 2024. 2024 situation is totally different. Kada. It's been many years. France, the entire France is in crisis now. Because you know what is the problem faced by France today? They are facing the problem of refugees. Muslim refugees are there. The entire Europe is in crisis now. European Union is facing crisis. England, France, Germany, these three are superpowers in Europe. All the three countries are now facing the same problem
so
because of the Middle East crisis.
because it doesn't have
They never learned the principles of democracy. In 1789, even though French Revolution brought democracy, republicanism, even though Napoleon is a hero, it managed to survive only for few years. Again, they went into monarchism only. ఇది మీకు వరల్డ్ హిస్టరీలో ఫ్రెంచ్ రెవల్యూషన్ చాప్టర్ చదువుతారు కదా, అప్పుడు మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ ఫ్రాన్స్ వెంట ఇంటూ ట్రామా, డెమోక్రసీ మొనార్కిజం, అన్స్టేబుల్ గవర్నమెంట్స్. Now, how can we expect that unstable government to rule us? At least British is better, because British, even though they are monarchy, they are having constitutional monarchism. Even though the kings are monarchs, even they also obey the constitution. అందుకే ఇంగ్లీష్ ఫార్ మోర్ అడ్వాన్స్డ్ నేషన్.
Sir, British అంటే కంట్రీలోకి వచ్చాక they took around like 100-150 years to start their rule, and they ruled even for 200 years. And ఒకవేళ వాళ్ళు వచ్చింది రూల్ చేసినంత కౌంట్ చేసుకుంటే 350 years.
1600 to 300.
టెక్నికల్లీ కౌంట్ చేస్తే 350 years పట్టింది ఇండిపెండెన్స్ రావడానికి. Can we say British are more patriotic than India?
టెక్నికల్లీ 350 ఎట్లా కౌంట్ చేస్తారు అంటే 1600 అంటున్నారు కదా, ఆ 1600 ఇంకా ముఘల్స్ ఆర్ రూలింగ్ ఇండియా.
So maybe at least 200 years they
200.
because they had long term vision that
What is patriarchy to do with this thing?
వాళ్ళు they thought more about their country rather than individuals or individual.
They taught more about their country that have done lot of benefit for India in many aspects. But there is nothing like patriarchy. Even England also had patriarchism, but only up to Renaissance movement. After facing Renaissance movement in 15th and 16th century, England became more and more liberal. Before Renaissance movement, totally witch hunting, women exploitation, our sati kind of system, more than brutally they behaved, even with women also. But after Renaissance movement, England changed a lot. Same impact in India also. So, if you think as a bureaucrat, you will learn more good things only from the British than the negative. Understand? Well, this was once a PYQ, mains question. Okay? See you tomorrow.